Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Wisdom Saves. It's Saturday night once again. Sunday night for y'all. Sunday afternoon. Sunday day.
Afternoon.
It's Sunday. It's eventually. But we are finally back, and we were ready to play some more Dungeons and Dragons with episode 21. We've been playing for 21 episodes. That is a lot. That is unexpected. Gosh, and I feel like this campaign. There's so many ideas. We'll get there.
We have to actually get through the content though, and we're very slow at it.
I feel like
we're
this campaign.
We get distracted.
This campaign is turning into a metaphor for my Steam library, where it's like it's just so much, and you're like, oh, I'll just keep playing this one over and over. But yeah, why don't we go ahead and do some introductions and talk about ourselves real quick. Oh no, my Twitch just crashed, so I can't see what the overlay is. We'll just go with you, Jim Jam. Why don't you kick us off?
Hello, I'm Jim Jam, or CatRoulette, or Aery. Well, Aery's not my name, but I do play them. Aery is a bisexual disaster boy sorcerer, and he's sad that he didn't get to kill Shazrak. That's pretty much where he's at the moment. So,
I mean, the night is young. Natalie.
Oh shit, yeah, it's me today. Hello. I am BurrowsRed, I play Natalie. I think Natalie is really sad that she couldn't be nice to kobolds, but also, heat a battle, my friends. We got to see some cool tricks, so that's important.
That we did. Eminence.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I play Eminence. She is a tiefling warlock and the more chaotic half of a pair of siblings in this campaign.
And the other sibling, Oriana.
Hi, I am Mel on Lefson, and it's rare that I'm not the more chaotic part of any duo. But I play Oriana. She is also a tiefling. She is a cleric, and she Angie. Just all the time. Not about anything that happened last week, really. She's just Angie.
Well, hopefully we can give you some more opportunities to be angry in this next session. Because last time we were playing, the party had met a couple of people and had a lot of conversations. It was a lot of talking for a large majority of the session. And then a little bit of combat at the end to spice things up. So Eminence finished up her date with Silence, resolving which one was the duplicate and which one was actually Silence. Meanwhile, back at the central keep of Valetaire, the rest of the party had conversations about basically trying to capture and speak with Shazarash. And much to the disappointment of some of the members of the party, they decided to open with conversation with a mind-reading changeling. At that dinner, they spoke with Shazarash, and with some little bit of persuasion, a little bit of lucky rolls, they were able to convince him to, at the very least, explore the opportunity and talk about it a little bit more. But halfway through the dinner, an earthquake began to rumble, and as the ground shook and heaved beneath everyone, the party suffered a little bit of damage from the earthquake that sort of rumbled out, but afterwards discovered that a sewage pipe from underneath Valetaire had ruptured out onto the ground level, and from the sewers came lizard men, kobolds. In a brief flight of confusion, a woman screamed, a town guard panicked and fired a crossbow at one of them, and the kobolds quickly began to retaliate, so the party stepped in to intervene, and in the process defeated and slew their own large number of kobolds before sending the rest retreating back into the sewer pipes. And as the party took stock of the scene, Aery examined the area around them a little bit more and noticed strange concentric ripples in the ground radiating outward and with a natural 20 perception check was able to deduce that the central point of these ripples, of this earthquake, originated from the south of Valater, from the deep wood and the forest of statues. And that is where we left off. The air is still thick with some of the dust and dirt that has been kicked up by the earthquake. You can feel it stinging your eyes and coating the inside of your mouth a little bit. Your ears ringing ever so slightly with that hollow sensation now that the ground has stopped rumbling. Your heart's still sort of beating rapidly after the intense battle that you just encountered. And that, for those of you who can cast magic, that small sense of relief of feeling your magic come back after having been away for less than a minute, but somehow feeling like more than a lifetime. As each of you take in the situation, you see Shazarash, Silence, El Romeor, and the Ladry all around you, all still currently a bit out of breath by the combat, but you're now starting to hear yelling and screaming coming from other streets nearby as the earthquake's damage appears to have spread fairly largely across the city. But the evening is yours. What would you like to do?
After a solid, because of that fucking rock. Are my eyes deceiving me, or does it seem like that thing will never stop being an issue for us?
Yeah, fuck them.
I mean, it could have been anything. Maybe it wasn't.
Apparently, fuck them rocks. So I heard the footsteps. I'm like, oh no.
Wonderful cameo.
Anyway, sorry. I didn't actually hear what was said in reply.
Oh, I said maybe it wasn't the rock. Could have been anything.
I have a feeling it's always that bloody rock.
Would there be anything that would have given us a sense that it was definitely the rock? Because it's not here, is it? Did we actually bring it here?
Well, from my notes, we have
it's
that
in the woods,
there are rings
where-
coming from the south, which is the forest of statues.
Which is where we stashed it, with those hidden statues.
I have no sense of direction, unfortunately.
Does Natalie or El Romeor or Shazarash, do they seem like they're particularly excited about one thing or another? Like, obviously the town's just been upheaved. They're maybe looking out to go and do stuff, or do they look like they're looking for the source of it as well? Like, what's their immediate thought here?
Yeah, Silence is still just taking a moment to himself after the wounds that he suffered and the healing that he received, so he's still a little bit shaken by the battle. Naladri, she's kind of going over to the guard and just checking his wound as he was harpooned with the makeshift spear by one of the kobolds. El Romeor is still upstairs, and he's kind of looking out through the window.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's still kind of looking out through the window, just astonished by the situation. I mean, I do not know if this stone you have told me about, if it can do something like this. From what you have told me, the stone's effects are localized, small, right?
Well, we have no idea.
I mean, we
And-
assumed that, but it was affecting like the whole of the woods, wasn't it?
It was also affecting another plane of being. Perhaps it can reach further than we thought.
Perhaps it could be worth investigating if it is the stone, if the stone is still even there. I would certainly hope so. But with all of this chaos, it's tough to say. Perhaps it came from somewhere else and the stone rolled away.
Oh, Romeo, you said that you wanted to suss out this stone when we talked about it. You said you
do.
wanted to study it. Come with us. We'll go have a look.
I will be right down. I would love to.
Sure.
And he turns around and he doesn't go down the window. He
Yeah. It's not reasonable to expect someone to like jump down from a second-story window or anything.
While we're waiting for him to come down, I don't know about everyone else, but I don't feel up to much of a walk right now.
Oh, surely we don't have to go to the woods right now.
Oh, I mean, I was more than willing. I mean, our room is
Will you
kind
carry
of.
us?
I sure can if you'd like. I've got 2 arms.
You've still got your horses in the stable of the Golden Tankard.
No,
as well.
I have 2 arms. I'll sit on the back of the
Just
horse
one
with the
bicep
2
for
arms.
each.
Natalie can ride the horse, but she can carry them in the same time. We'll be like a little circus act.
Yes.
The town has had something traumatic and they need something to smile
We'll do a
about.
cute like.
Oh yeah,
Standing on the
with the
palms.
illusions on the side. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the event that something serious has happened, waiting for us to be able to rest may lead to something worse happening. Might be best to at least go and work it out.
Aww.
All right.
We
We
can
can
help
pass
along,
out
but I
on
don't
you.
like
It's
it.
really your fault.
Look, we've done nothing today. We may as well do some kind of. We gotta do some
just
exercise
like to
today. Let's get up 10,000
gesture
steps.
to
Yeah,
the
what is-
carnage around us, like the scorch marks in the earth, and just like gesture, like nothing.
This has
We've
all been
done so
taking place
much.
in the case of the last 5 to 10 minutes, Eminence. It could get worse.
A day does include the last 5 minutes, Natalie.
And we also had that stupid meeting with that stupid guy.
I'm still here.
That was very
I don't talk to
tiring,
him.
to be fair. But let's recuperate for a minute.
Speaking of which, by the way, if you all are going to go out at this point, El Romeor kind of busts out the front door, and he's kind of excited, but like a little flushed already. If you all are going to go out and do some adventuring thing, can I have my disc back? Y'all talked about it. Who?
believe
Hold on.
you.
He's going to take a moment and scan each of you one by one, and then he looks at Oriana and narrows his eyes. Make a wisdom saving throw, Oriana.
Oh god, am I wise? Oh, yeah, no, this should be fine. I shouldn't have said that before I rolled. 15 plus 6.
Plus
21.
21. You feel him probing your mind. You feel him just kind of like someone at the door, or like peering through the windows, looking in and trying to see, but you keep your reserve. You don't think about it. You're able to keep your head clear and keep him locked out. He kind of narrows his eyes.
Is it obvious that he's trying to do that? Like, does he have to cast that?
No, he just kind of narrows his eyes and looks a little focused.
So, in other words, he's just making intense eye contact from what we would believe.
Yeah.
Fair.
Like he's trying to pick someone who's the weak link, who's gonna break, who's gonna give me some.
Pick Oriana.
I rolled a d4, okay?
I know, but like, if he's like, I'm gonna pick the weakest link here, and he's like, look at the one who has like resting bitch face, and he's just like, yeah, that one.
Angriest tiefling.
One of you has it.
Do we? Maybe not. It could be anywhere. Maybe we already destroyed it.
He turns his gaze to you, Aery. Make a wisdom saving throw for me.
12?
12? Ooh, I actually need to check that. That is close. He got an 11. You do not get your mind read.
but I can feel that he's trying.
Yep.
I cast Mind Spike on him at 4th level.
With the goal of doing damage?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's a wisdom saving throw?
Yes, DC 16.
That is an 18.
Alright. What happens if... so he takes half damage on a successful save, so I'll just... he takes 7 damage.
7 damage. He kind of cries out, "Ah! God,
You stay
why?"
out of my head, you disgusting little man.
We already agreed that you would give me back my disc. It was collateral to get me to show up again. I've showed up, I've talked, I've agreed to help
yeah.
the rest of you.
You also agreed that you would stop using my face, and you did it anyway, so it doesn't really mean anything, does it?
I haven't worn it since this morning.
You still did it after you said that you wouldn't.
I'm gonna say something to Eminence. I'm gonna be like, so does this technically, right? This is still the same night. We could just leave without giving, like, we're still in the right here, right?
I mean, on a technical level, it hasn't been a day.
Okay, I feel better about that. All right.
I mean, also, it's him. I don't really care.
I mean, I just want to know that we're, you know, we're right.
We're
you
the
know?
good
Like,
guys.
yeah, of course, yeah.
It happens in every D&D campaign. We're the good guys. We're the good guys.
Yeah, we're doing the right thing, right?
Yes, Shazarash, again. Oh, I see. So my injustices allow you to permit injustices upon me. That's how this works.
Well, how does it feel to have someone take something important from you and lie about it?
Frankly, it was given with an expectation of respect, but I see that my respect is worth so little comparatively that this
Comparatively?
is
Comparatively? No. Even if it was exactly the same, then we would still be completely within our rights to violate it because you did that happily.
It's a question of perception of the value of wearing someone else's face. At this point, El Romeor steps in and is like, yeah, okay, I think this is getting us nowhere. We can talk about this later. Shazarash, why don't you come with us to this stone?
No, he is not coming with us.
And he has a vested interest. He very obviously wants his disc. We can speak to him about it.
I don't give a shit. You need our help, and I need you to get rid of him.
Silence is kind of on the ground and just taking in the situation and observing everything. Naladri has sort of finished bandaging up the other woman and is just standing off to the side. El Romeor looks over at Shazarash, who kind of... Fair enough. In that event, I look forward to working with your organization. And he gives sort of a very wide, sweeping bow. I'll see you in the morning. And turns and begins walking away. And a few steps later, begins whistling a jaunty tune, a deliberately upbeat and happy tune.
Can I insight check
I
that?
hate that guy.
Absolutely, yeah.
Are you? Oh, it's a 7. Did look like a 1 though. I was gonna be like, are you for real right now? So that makes it a 9. So like, he seems pretty happy, you know? Wow.
He's
obviously got to him.
Getting to him. Yeah.
He understands.
Yeah.
Just business.
I suspect it's malicious.
Oh, you insight
Aery...
checked as well? What'd you get?
No, I didn't. Aery is not going to spend any more time on him.
Gotcha.
How does the front of the inn look? Like, was it all fucked up or just like...
So there are sort of like some decorative filigree that's kind of cracked. Plaster has kind of come down in a little bit of places, but the building is well constructed. It is very nice, and it was able to withstand a lot of the earthquake very well. Some of the windows kind of just fractured and shattered. Surprise, holding a square like this and then moving one corner causes glass to break. So many of the windows are broken. Some of the smaller like decorative bathroom windows are okay. some of the other houses did suffer some more damage. About 2 houses down, there's like this 3-story, almost like McMansion, basically. And the entire eastern side of the building has collapsed. Seems like for some reason the foundation didn't hold up as well, or who knows. Actually, make an investigation check for me. Just while I'm thinking about it. And if other people are looking around, you can make an investigation check as well.
19.
19, okay?
Don't think it's very good. Yeah, that's a 12.
12,
13?
13.
8. Eminence is just staring like moony-eyed at silence.
Yeah. Yeah, so the rest of you don't really see it, but Aery with a 19, the corner of the building is kind of right on... the corner of the building that kind of crumbled a little bit is right on one of the concentric ripples in the street. And it's kind of difficult to see amongst the rubble and the dust and the people going about, but you can almost make out sort of a broken line from that point curving along. And as you take a few steps and sort of look further down along the line, you can see the next building over has a very similar collapse, this time through the center. The 2 opposite ends of the building are fine, but the center has collapsed inward. And you realize that the Golden Tankard is just right in the middle of these 2 concentric ripples. The one further down opened up the sewer. The one further over collapsed some buildings.
Okay. So we don't get to have a nap before we go to the forest?
I mean, we can sit, talk about what we plan to do. Romeor, maybe you have some things that you can suggest, but I think maybe a brief moment might be good. Eminence isn't looking quite so rosy as what they normally are.
Do often look rosy.
Blood to the cheeks and stuff.
Yeah. As you're saying this, the front doors burst open again, and outside you see Ascat. And you can see what looks to be sort of like a large battle axe in his hands, some slapdash leather armor across the chest, sort of taped on. You can see his helmet is kind of slipping off sideways a little bit as he comes tearing through the door. Sees all of the dead kobolds and you on the side of the building, and
You can still hit one if you want.
puts the axe down on the ground. Oh, where's the fun in that, though?
It'd make a good noise.
There's some excitement for the first time in years.
You defended your tavern. That's plenty exciting. And you succeeded.
I spent 2 minutes looking for the chest that had all of this.
But you didn't have anyone enter?
And sort of adjusts
Still
the
a
helmet.
success.
You all okay? Everything all right?
Just looked at Eminence
Generally.
again.
Injured?
We can handle ourselves.
I think
Also, just like the backdrop of like the crumpled city, or like
he seems less distracted by all of that and more concerned about your welfare.
awesome.
As he kind of takes it in a little bit, he kind of, I've got something, and runs back inside.
Let's sit.
I wonder where
maybe.
Bryn is. She never came back. I hope she didn't get caught in a building.
Yeah, that's a good point.
She's probably busy
surely-
shooting people.
Bryn can handle herself. I mean, she's Bryn.
I mean, sure, but what if a whole building falls on top of someone? It doesn't matter how like brave they are. Not that that would
Eminence is
happen.
Genuinely concerned.
Thank
sure
you
it
for
won't
imbuing us with that anxiety. I wasn't thinking about that before, and now I am.
Yeah, I thought it would be unhealthy if I kept it to myself, so I wanted to share it with everyone.
Let's just spread
Yeah.
the anxiety.
Mm.
A moment
Caring
later,
is caring.
yes,
It's true. That's what friendship is.
bustling back out with his arms surprisingly full is Ascat once again. You can see he's got sort of a small crate in his hands, and as he walks over and sets this crate down, well, I guess it's official. And you can see he doesn't have his axe anymore. He's still got the armor and the helmet keeps like slipping over and over on his head, and finally he takes it off, puts it down. I don't think I need these. And pries the lid off of the crate. And inside you can see 6 small vials with red fluid inside of them.
Gimme.
This is 2 potions of greater healing and 4 potions of healing.
Nice. Also, I'm
And-
wondering if Ascat's head has somehow shrunk since he was an adventurer.
Maybe he got a haircut. He
It's-
used to have like a big hair.
He had an afro.
Wild
No.
hair.
The beard used to be. It was. I didn't cut it until I settled down.
You know as
So
well
it
if you
was straps are. I can't. The straps are kind of. And he looks. You can see they're like a little caked in dried sweat on the leather, just from sitting in a box from however long use. And he's like, I can't get the. It's fine, and just takes it off and sets it down. Also, these came in.
you said
And-
2 greater healing, it was 4
2 greater, 4 regular
regular.
potion of healing.
Yeah.
6 in total.
I'm going to
These
accept those, but out of game, I'm like, maybe he should save those for his neighbors. But hey, we'll take them.
I mean, y'all are just in combat with kobolds and look to be gearing up. So he's trying to set things up. In addition, you are provided with 2 letters and 4 kajas.
Oh, who sent us presents?
You got some things from Bryn,
Maybe that's why she wants to get us surprises.
and
should
you
do that.
also got, I don't know, like a bird.
The message.
They finally got back to us. Hopefully, they tell us we can leave.
It took like a week.
This is the definition of a late reply. I am disappointed with their delayed response, and we'll be sending
I
a
mean, they
follow-up
were sending
email.
it by a paper bird.
Disappointed with their delayed response, and I will be sending a follow-up.
It does seem quite late for a very powerful organization.
Who sent the letter, the original letter?
The what now? What now? What?
The original bird letter.
I want to
That's
say it
Natalie.
was.
Yeah, I thought it was Natalie.
Who's
I
writing? We all kind of dictate.
can't write, so I think it was
Oh, well.
I think it was Bryn.
I don't know why I thought it was Natalie.
I might have it written down somewhere in this notebook of horror, but let's.
No, that's
find
okay.
out.
I thought it was Aery for some reason.
No, it wasn't me.
You can't read at all, Natalie?
I just can't read Common. I can write in Orcish, but I don't think that
okay.
that's really going to be super helpful. Common's more
I-
common.
Was going to suggest that perhaps we should have an SOS letter that you could send, pre-prepared. But if it takes this long for them to the reply, emergency letter probably not going to be helpful.
So I have posted them in our chat.
Aery will pass the bird letter to Aery because he doesn't care as much, and he'll open the letter from Bryn.
That's good because I'm currently reading the bird letter.
He'll like start reading the letter, assuming that it's just like talking about like the presents that she left for them. And then you will like see his face drop and be like, oh. Rin isn't coming back. I don't think. Well,
What?
not for a while at least, it seems. I'll read you her letter. I just read the first part. She says, Dear companions, something of utmost urgency but also of secrecy has arisen as we have recently experienced some issues of family. I read that bad. As we have recently experienced issues of family can be complicated, and this is a summons I cannot ignore. Regretfully, I have had to depart immediately, although I wish to farewell you all in person. I hope this letter will suffice in conveying how much my time with all of you has meant. Oriana, I'm sorry if there was any lingering sense of discomfort or hostility from our previous conversation, so I hope you have conveyed that I will treat people based on the actions they carry out. I appreciate being challenged on basing thought on a foundation of blind faith. I appreciated being challenged on basing thoughts on a... Sorry, she has really nice handwriting, but it's not my first language. I am grateful for having met you and for our debates. Though perhaps I should have retained this set in hopes of my skills being somewhat of a challenge for our next match. I would like to leave it in your care for the time being. Oh, one of these is for you. Does the...
What it is.
Do they have names on the packages? I'm going to assume they do. And I will find one for Oriana and hand it to her. Natalie, thank you for your loyalty, your perseverance, and the genuine care you treat others with. You deserve to be cherished, and though none of us can erase what may have happened in the past, it is the way we persevere and grow through hardship that is a true reflection of ourselves. I am proud to have fought at your side and hope to be worthy to do so again when I have the ability to return. I know you are not typically one to request anything, but though I should hope that it should never be the case, if you are ever feeling lost or alone, earn a piece of this to be reminded that you always have an ally and a friend with you, no matter how far I may be. And she will hand a package to Natalie as well. Oh, sorry. The one for Oriana is a marble dragon chess set, which was her
Cute.
chess set. And to Natalie, it's a sandalwood incense and a potion of healing.
I do like potions.
Yes. So this one's for me, she said. Aery, I will miss our fanciful talks, your radiant attire, yes it is, and the way you always brighten any room you enter. Oh, she's so nice. I'm sorry to burden you by having this letter delivered to you personally, but I thought that news always seems sweeter when it comes from you. Oh, I don't have anything to match the caliber of what you usually wear, but please accept this token. Should you seek assistance of a night ship, it may come to some use. Otherwise, maybe just for the days you wish to accessorize with silver. And if that swine ever sees fit to copy your face again, there will be no end he can flee to that I will not find him. Oh, she's so sweet.
I hope Aery said that particularly loudly. Oh wait, no, he's not here.
Yeah.
Damn it, he left!
Just yells at her.
Like,
He's
can
still
I borrow
whistling
some
in the
thaumaturgy
distance,
for a
like-
second so I can yell?
Yeah.
Eminence is also kind of about to get up at this stage as if she expects that to have been the end of the letter.
Eminence, where are you going?
I
You haven't listened to what she said to you.
Oh,
Sit down.
she
Eminence?
sits back down.
Eminence, though I can't begin to understand the complicated circumstances of your background, it saddens me that you do not see your own value. Is that right? You are undeniably beautiful and charming, but that alone does not make an individual remarkable. You are skilled and capable, you have dreams and passions, as well as people who care deeply about you for you. You don't need to mold yourself into something else, because you are enough. I hope that by the time we meet again, you will find pride and solace in your own company, because I certainly have cherished it. It is said, Thornlilies grant protection, but are also a symbol for friendship. Although these are not the real thing, may it be there in my stead for the time being. And she left her fine cloak, its pale green fabric with silver thorn lilies embroidered around the hood and the hem. Please forgive this humble knight in her failings. I set out on my journey in hopes of caring for and protecting those deserving of such. Yet once again I have had to depart early, leaving the remaining discourse for others to remedy. My time with the four of you has been sweeter than the chocolates we shared together. I hope to be fortunate enough to be able to stand alongside you all again soon. Ever thank you. Ever thankful, Viniel. Oh,
Ariana's
I
I don't know
gonna
what to say.
kind of go. The chocolate that she ate isn't even sweet.
That's what you got from that, Oriana?
She's right. It was very bitter.
The chocolate that we ate together was sweet. We ate the sweet chocolate.
I don't think she liked the sweet chocolate, but it's the sentiment,
But
really.
we ate it
And-
together.
Is
It is a lovely sentiment.
or is it one of those metaphors?
Metaphor.
Oh,
Yes, it was literally a metaphor, yeah.
Bryn was good with metaphors.
Oriana, I think that you are just being mean now to mask your feelings of sadness.
I don't feel sadness.
Yeah, sure, whatever. And he's gonna what Bryn left for Aery was her ring. And I will read the description because I closed the thing. She left her signet ring, which is filigreed silver with a dragon's head and a tuber rose embossed in the center. He's just gonna like spin the ring on his finger. I wonder what she had to do. It must be very important.
Night stuff.
Well, she said it
seems
was
pretty
family
serious.
related, and
And secret.
when family calls,
Yeah.
You go to hell?
Usually.
often.
I don't think she'll be going to hell.
Is there a heaven? Maybe. That's
is a
not
very
a that's not a
existential
that's
conversation.
That's not wasn't the implication that I intended with that one there.
Yeah, she's not a dragon. She's not an angel. She's a dragon, so she'll probably go to like do dragon stuff,
To
dragon knight stuff. Not in heaven.
If people have more feelings they would like to get out, this would be the time to do it. We also have a letter from our employers.
I have so many feelings, Oriana. I don't think I can get them all out now. I'm going to think about them for a while.
we're gonna take time.
Yeah,
to
Emmy just
process.
wraps herself in the cloak.
I, for one, particularly want to know what took these guys so long to write the damn letter.
They have not given an excuse for how long it took to write the letter.
I'm disappointed
However,
without their acknowledgement of a delayed response.
given that this is our first magical bird letter, perhaps this is the time frame that they should have arrived in. We don't know there was a delay.
You have a
Natalie.
very level-headed approach to this, Oriana. I would not have expected that from you.
I genuinely do not know how to react to that. Anyway, I'm not going to read the entire letter.
But you should.
But blah blah, good to hear from you, blah blah blah. They thought we did well. The task has escalated, blah blah. Do you actually want me to read the whole thing? I can read the whole
I can't
thing.
read
Yes.
it. You have to
Oh
read
my-
it to us.
I did entirely forget that you can't read, despite the fact that it was brought up like 2 fucking minutes ago. That's more
very
on
in
me
character, though.
than on Oriana.
She'd just be like, oh, I don't care, and then just forget about it. It makes sense.
Fine. Team I, it is good to hear from you. I had expected your first appointment with the WEF to be a good initiation, but it seems this task has escalated. Regardless, I am glad that all of you are well. I don't even remember what the actual letter fucking said, but hopefully this addresses all of it because I
Stone
genuinely
sucks.
can't remember.
Yeah,
We've
background.
heard of strange stones appearing across the country. The Weft is most certainly interested. We've already gathered a small stone similar to the one you described from a merchant in Endopolis, and heard of 2 additional stones. I sent a recovery team with a wagon from our station in Goldford. They should arrive next Thursday if they suffer no delay. They've been informed to be wary of its strange properties. Look to meet them to transfer ownership of your box of chocolates on the northern edge of Valater. Sorry, the giggle is me, not Oriana. Your letter was sparse on details regarding King Lupo of Valater and his statue. I trust that as you find more information, we will be the first to hear it. Should you complete your assigned task in Valater, I have 2 options for your next assignments. In the first, we've been hearing rumors of disappearances in the southeast near the pot. Head over and try to determine what's happening. Alternatively, given your experience with the strange stone, I would be remiss not to offer you the opportunity to explore it further. We've heard of 2 similar stones, one large stone in Olsen at the heart of the stone steppes. Steppies. Again, this is me. Oriana knows how to read. And a second under the possession of the clan of Orcs north of Frovale, near the head of the Blue Line in the Pikes Range. Accept either assignment at your discretion and inform us of your choice should you need any support or additional information. Best of luck. Eladia Mithrana.
Just to clarify, out of character, the disappearances were what we were talking about near that mist, right? Like, that's the same thing.
No, that is a different location.
Okay.
The mist is north of you. That was sort of that giant bubble of mist that you passed through from Goldford traveling south.
Right.
The pot is pretty far over to the east, sort of in open plains. It's I don't really
okay,
know how to
yeah. I
describe
see
it
you. So
as
it's
shorthand.
northeast from where we are.
Yeah. It's kind of it's not a quote unquote officially recognized settlement or country, but it has just grown so large and that it's basically become its own thing.
Interesting.
I don't really want to deal with any more stones.
I don't particularly want to go anywhere near the mountains soon.
Ascat kind of leans in. What was that bit about the king and the statue again?
Oh, that was nothing.
I forgot you were here.
I'm gonna go inside. And he turns around and heads in.
I mean, I was going to say that it was a commission about the statue that had fallen through, and it was possibly fraud related. But
I mean, more
also,
lies
none of your
kind
business works.
None of your business seems more your style, to be fair.
Yes, but he seems the kind that will continue to ask questions.
We honestly need to be more aware of who is standing around us when we talk about things. We have this problem a lot.
Look, we have nothing to hide.
We have so much
We
to
have
hide.
so much
Natalie.
to
We have
hide.
nothing to hide.
We're working for like a secret organization. It's
Aery.
a secret.
They hide us knowing that we
Romeor
Can I
exist.
pointedly look
Sorry.
around?
I thought he left.
You're working for
Wait,
a
I thought he
secret
left.
organization? Ascat left. Romeor, Silence, and Nalandry are still there.
Hey,
Is
it's
not
canon.
what we are doing for you secret.
I mean, we did also tell them that we were working for someone. We just
yes.
We didn't tell them it was a secret organization.
Of course it was. They already would have assumed that because it's a fucking king statue in a forest. Like,
Well,
you would assume
now they
it's
know.
assumed.
I like how as you're having the conversation, we shouldn't talk while there are people around us. You literally proceed to do the exact same thing a minute later.
yeah, we should go do something important instead of talking.
I mean, I think
Well,
we should.
we were
Sorry.
going to check out that stone anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, if they want us to check out stones, I hate that stone.
By the way, it is the equivalent of Wednesday night. So basically tomorrow, the wagon would arrive to pick it up.
Oh, thank God.
So they give us no
I
notice.
thought you meant like a week.
Yeah, I thought next Thursday was next Thursday.
No,
Next
this
Thursday
is good.
when
We
the
can-
letter was written, which was, I think, 2 or 3 days ago.
It doesn't have a date on it. How am I supposed to know that?
I haven't invented dates in this world yet.
That's absolutely fair.
They give
I've
us
had
no time.
I've had a legit real life argument with my husband so many times about whether next Thursday means the Thursday that is coming next or next week Thursday. And I'm on team it's next week Thursday.
Yes,
So
I
I had
believe-
assumed that it was a week from now.
No, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Next Thursday is the next Thursday.
That's
If it's
really
Tuesday.
what the word-
I'm a firm believer of this Thursday and next Thursday. So
Yes.
this Thursday is the Thursday coming up, and then next Thursday is the next Thursday after this Thursday.
It
which is what we
In the
depends,
have.
though,
absence
if
of
you
this
have-
Thursday.
The time in between. If there are 4 days until the next Thursday, it's that Thursday. If there are 3 to 1 days in between, it is the Thursday after.
So you're saying there is a distance to Thursday threshold where it changes from
Yes.
this Thursday to next Thursday to
Like, if you're
refer
in
to the
this-
same day.
A
Yeah,
sliding
if you're in
scale
the
of
same
Thursdays.
week, if you're in the same week as the Thursday, it's this Thursday.
Yeah.
If it's like if you're like at the end of the week, then it's
If it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, you say next Thursday.
next Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Is that because you still think Friday and Saturday and Sunday is the previous week because the week starts on Monday?
Correct. Well,
Yeah.
yes.
Don't
but correct.
argue with me about the Monday thing. It's not called the weekend. Sunday is not part of the weekend if it's the beginning of the week.
I
Oh
don't
no,
think Sunday's
Monday is the beginning of the week.
Monday's the beginning of the week.
As Eminence.
Oh no, it was a Christian thing that our parents were like, Sunday is the start of the week, and I was like, it's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
It's the
Maybe.
weekend.
Yeah, Sunday is the end of the week. But yeah, anyway, Eminence would like to
Anyways.
pipe up and be like,
Silence and Romeor are like, what?
I think we're all quite tired. It seems that we're bickering over things that don't really matter. Perhaps we should have a bit of a rest before we do anything else.
I mean, we've been sitting here chatting. I'm sure this kind of counts as resting.
If you would like to take a short rest, it's probably been about 20 minutes, what with the letters and everything. So you're about halfway to finishing off a short rest.
Okay.
If you want to take a longer rest, that will involve going upstairs and crawling into bed.
I would like to expend some hit dice.
Yeah, so if you sit and chill for another 20 minutes, Silence eventually gets up and sort of stretches his muscles a little bit. He did get a little bit of healing, which kind of topped him off, but he's still a bit shaken. However, he does agree to come along, if not necessarily to fight, to help provide information.
I mean, there is every
No, I'm-
possibility that we will need to fight, though.
There may very well be fighting.
We already
Um,
have a decent amount of squishy casters to look after.
Actually, no. It's been
I
like 20
wouldn't call
minutes.
him squishy.
Silence
That's pretty squishy.
Silence is actually going to grab Nalandri and head back to the central keep. There's just been an earthquake, and he's got to politic some shit. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was like writing things down, taking notes, and I was like, wait a sec, that's not that's not him.
Can I also just double check if anyone knows, how do you use hit dice in D&D Beyond? I know my hit dice. Oh, if I press short rest, probably. Oh, done it.
Yes.
Press short rest, it's fine.
Nice.
We're just going to find a way for Oriana to have made that squishy caster comment so that Emmy can say they're not that squishy, so that she can give her one of the potions of greater healing, like directly in her face, like, not squishy? Because if you're not squishy...
Oh no, he's not squishy. He's quite firm. Then I'll just take the potion.
I used 4 hit dice, and it's like, no. I still have
Oh,
the
you
same
have to
health.
roll
I'm just
them
gonna
yourself.
roll them, and yeah.
Yeah. That's sort of a marker thing.
I thought it would have
just to help you
automatically
keep
added
track.
them.
The smart rolling is smart, but it's not that smart.
Ah, right.
Relatively smart.
While we're doing D&D Beyond stuff, I'm going to take a short rest. What would I recover with a potion of greater healing?
That is 66 plus 6. Or is that 44?
Okay, that's max. hit
Greater
points.
is 66 plus 6, yeah.
Cool.
I need one more hit point. Angie.
No, I got that wrong. It's 44 plus 4. Yeah. 2, 4, 8. But you only have like 20 hit points anyway, so you're probably...
Yeah, that just brings me up to maxing.
Are you...
I'm 56, thank you very much.
Okay.
What?
But yeah, I don't know why it makes you tick it off and then it doesn't roll it, doesn't do it for you. But it's whatever.
It's like an actual paper character sheet. Like you can mark off your hit die, but they don't do anything. You have to roll them.
No, but then why do I have to go through the whole process of ticking it if it's not even gonna just put the numbers on there?
So you can keep track of it so that you come back 2 weeks later because it's still going to be the same night and you'll be like, oh, we did take that rest. I already used 3 hit dice.
Yeah, but
But
like...
it's weird that everything else like automatically rolls. It's just weird that it doesn't automatically roll.
Because I couldn't even like... more like I couldn't even have the option to roll it as like a... Like, you know how you like click on a skill, right? And you can roll it.
Yeah.
It didn't even give me an option. It was just like, you click how many, and then you press OK, and I was just assuming it would do it for me.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Listen,
nah.
D&D Beyond is still just in alpha. It's an alpha product.
Bravo.
Until 6E comes out, and they'll be like, even
Oh my
again,
God.
back to beta, like...
I hope they don't come out with 60. They have invested so much into 5e at this
Totally
point.
not.
Just keep it. Just it's good. It's fine.
Dearest Wizards of the Coast, hear our prayer. Don't fucking do that to us.
I don't want to learn a whole new system.
I will refuse. I will be one of those people that is like, 3.5 is the best and you shouldn't be playing any other system. I'm going to be like, no, I am not moving on from 5. You can't make me. You can't.
That's actually a good conversation to have because I feel like with the recent resurgence of D&D and specifically live streaming, like what we're doing, I think there is space for a more streamlined D&D for live shows.
For sure.
Like performative D&D.
Definitely.
But D&D has
But-
always been combat
I
focused.
mean, I'm sure
But
those
still,
systems
anyway.
exist and they're just not called D&D.
Yes.
Oh yeah. It's Fate
There's a lot
or
of
Monster of the Week.
Mm.
But yeah.
Anyways, you finish your short rest. Silence and Naladri bid you farewell some short time ago and made their way to try to accommodate some sort of semblance of control and repair to what's going on in the city. And as you are finishing your short rest, a number of guards do make their way down the street, checking in on people. Towards the end of your short rest, a second set of guards come by with actually a census. And they go house by house and door by door, and they're taking checks and tallies of injured, dead, missing, that sort of thing. And right now, this just seems to be information gathering.
Is there any chance we can overhear any of the numbers? Like, are there a lot of injured or dead?
They don't talk. They don't share like total numbers. Like people are asking, and the guy, as he's kind of going door by door, sort of like shoulder length hair kind of pulled back a little bit. We're not really supposed to talk about everything that's going on. We're just kind of getting individual houses, and the woman kind of presses him a little bit. It's not. Look, we could have not had an earthquake. Well, I'll say it that way. She's like, yeah. And goes on to the next
Can't
house.
argue it.
I mean, unless there's anything that anyone wants to do, we're pretty much ready to go once that rest is done.
Awesome.
I'd
rest is
like
done.
to head in and grab some food from Ascat for us to take with us.
Yeah.
Character
Very
development. I thought of
responsible.
provisions.
Yeah.
Character growth. Yeah, so Ascat, you can see, is attending to the patrons that are inside. People generally don't stay the night in the Golden Tankard. It is though it is a tavern, it's kind of become an upscale restaurant. So after the earthquake, a lot of people left. So aside from like broken plates and glasses, a lot of the food is just kind of left out on tables. And in the back, in the kitchen, there were other people's foods being prepped. So as you come in and ask, he's easily like, God's yes, and like goes into the back and prepares like basically a 4-star meal in little packages that he was going to give to patrons who just bailed. So he loads y'all up with some very nice lunch boxes.
I'll come back out with like little baskets, like picnic.
Yeah.
What a time for a picnic. Thank you.
I'll hand one over and seem a little bit like, almost like taken aback that Natalie was just nice about it and didn't really mock me. Not that Natalie ever would, but
I'm sure that's like, you know, brains ain't rational sometimes.
Prize of the situation. Well, if we have finished our rest,
You
shall we-
comfortable riding with someone?
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to go together? Maybe 2 squish people together?
I think, Oriana, if I could sit behind you, perhaps. You have got a lot of armor, so if there is anything going wrong.
Fine.
Good.
It's not going to be comfortable because of
Yeah,
the lots of armor.
I have ridden horses before. You also, I expect you only have a single seat saddle, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Do you have your own horse?
We walked. I mean, I have a horse at the keep, yeah.
We could go fetch your horse.
Do we
Yeah,
need
Well,
to?
but
We
let's go do
shouldn't
that.
really be. It's kind of a matter of importance. If it's such an issue, you can ride behind me. Just,
But we will pass by the keep a bit.
fine, we'll go get your
It's
horse.
pretty tall.
Sure. I'm just like side-eyeing Oriana, like,
He can ride with me up to the keep, and that's probably going to be enough time to regret that decision.
Great.
I highly doubt we're full
So-
galloping through the city. I'm sure he can walk, but like, it's fine. It's
Yeah, the 4 of you head over to the stable. The stable hand is nowhere to be found, but the door is still latched and closed. And as you open it, you can see that the horses inside are shaken. They are still tied up and they are still in their pens. A lot of their water from the troughs has kind of just spilled out onto the floor. You can see that a lot of the hay has sort of been kicked aside just from the flurry of activity of the horses. They're still frothing. You get the sense that just unbridling them and taking them out and saddling them up to ride might not be a great idea. But you certainly can try.
sure. I would like to try and calm the horse. Maybe feed it some hay and like just kind of stroke its head a little.
Absolutely. Make an animal handling check.
Oh, yeah, baby. That's a 22.
22. Yeah, you get your hand on your horse and your horse immediately, like, the person to horse connection is just there and you're like, I got you, horse, chill. And the horse is like, all right, trust.
Love that. I'll just continue feeding it and just kind of like, you know, in that way, like suggest that maybe the others try as well.
Make another animal handling check.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a go, but much less confidently.
Okay.
17 plus 3, which is
Ooh.
a dirty 20.
30-20. You head over to your horse, which is also just like excited, but your horse isn't scared like the other horses. You can tell that your horse is excited just by the activity, not necessarily frightened of danger or anything like that. So you get up to your horse and you're like, "Hey, chill. I'm gonna ride you." And the horse is like, "Okay."
Yeah, Eminence will also approach a horse somewhat hesitantly. I feel like horses aren't really a thing where Ori and
You
Emmy are
have-
from.
You have your horse from Goldenford.
Oh yeah, like she's ridden them, but she's not. You know, the horse girl energy is not there.
Oh yeah.
There's no real
horse-
emotional bond yet.
They're vehicles.
Yes. Smelly vehicles. Go for
But
it.
yeah, she will try to calm it. It's actually a decent roll considering I have a -1 for animal handling. 15.
15. Your horse is probably the most frightened out of all of the horses in the stable. However, as you get up to it and get your hand on it, it still kind of shakes and jumps a little bit as it is surprised. But you get the sense that there is an innate trust towards you at the very least, because you did ride it for a number of days from Goldford back south to Valater. So as you manage to get a hand onto it and tell it to relax, it does respond well. You get the sense that if there were a lot of excitement, like another earthquake or maybe even a battle, it might be a crapshoot to how it handles it. But for now, you can definitely just ride it.
That's nice.
Awesome.
I would like to roll for Aery, who just
Yes.
seems really absent right now. Just a little distracted by
Twiddling
something.
the ring from Bryn.
Yeah.
Too many emotions right now.
That is an 18.
18. 18 and a puppy runs by and barks. Yeah, you're able to go
I
to
failed
Aery's
my animal
horse.
handling.
You go over to Aery's as well and use calm down Aery's horse. And yeah, the four of you are now settled.
Gonna help what's
Excelente.
his face onto the back of my horse.
Absolutely. You saddle up and El Romeor swings up behind you and he straight up arms around the waist, doesn't even care.
Oriana is very uncomfortable with this. She's not gonna say anything about it, but yep.
As you kind of like take your horse out with him hanging on from the back, he says, the dog barks angrily. He says, wow, I have to say, your posture is impeccable for all of this armor.
He's
But-
gonna get so kicked.
Yeah, Aery, welcome back. All the horses have all been settled. Oriana just mounted and got El Romeor loaded up, and they trotted out onto the street.
Sick.
We on our way. So I'm guessing we drop by the stables by the castle and then basically on our way straight out.
Absolutely, yeah. So as you head in, normally it's about a 15 or 20 minute walk towards the central keep of Valater on horses. That time is halved, but with the damage done to the streets and how a lot of the dirt and stone has been disrupted and knocked up, it is a little bit more difficult going. As you head towards the keep, you see that a number of buildings have collapsed. Here and there, sinkholes have opened up as well. Some of them in parks, some of them a little bit smaller, sort of in streets, preventing the passage of carriages but allowing people to walk by. You see that there are rifts and tears in the ground radiating outward. And after 40 minutes, you can see that there is still a flurry of activity trying to save people who are in bad places or bad situations. People pinned under rubble, people trapped in buildings now that the doors and windows have collapsed. It is a mess. Probably about 1 in every 10 buildings has some sort of structural damage. Most of the buildings are fine, but the ones that did suffer damage suffered quite a bit. But go ahead.
I was just gonna say, can we see if it looks like kobolds have come out of the sewers anywhere else, or was it just sort of like that one area?
Yeah, absolutely. So you think that, judging by how the sewer kind of came up, basically the ground where in front of the golden tankard just kind of tilted like this. Like it lifted up and then tilted and then came back down. So
Okay,
that
so it hasn't like
section of the sewer
fully
came up.
opened anywhere else.
Yeah, you get the sense that that could be an opening if you wanted to try to get further down into the sewers. That could be pretty easily. There are still manhole covers that have been closed or shaken. Some of them have kind of fallen in from the ground, opening or expanding in places. But you get the sense that your Cobalt incident seems to have been pretty isolated. You hear people talking about more lizard people coming from the sewers to the north of Valetair, but it doesn't seem to be like an ocean of kobolds rose up to consume the city. Like it was, you had a pack, and perhaps there were others further along.
I would have understood if they wanted to do that.
That's fair. Yeah, you make your way towards the central keep, which is an absolute flurry of activity, of people coming and going. You could see accountants heading in and heading out to take a tally of the census of people in different directions. You could see a number of people providing instructions. You also see that on a small platform is Silence, and behind him you actually see Naladri as well. Silence is fully just in his element. He's receiving information, giving orders, distributing people here and there, maneuvering this squadron of troops over this way, sending a medical team over this way, trying to get people out of this part of the city, just handling crisis after crisis after crisis, just on top of it. And you can see that some of the wounds have caused people to sort of give him a little bit more significance, perhaps, than he previously already had. The fact that he is wounded and cut and bleeding and is still running the city is doing a lot to give people confidence in what he's doing. But as he sees each of you, he just kind of gives a nod and then continues going back to directing people to and fro. Yeah, El Romeor quickly hops off, runs inside, and 3 or so minutes later comes out on his own sort of brown gelding, and trots up with the rest of you. All right, well, shall we go quickly, or perhaps?
Sorry, that was too loud.
I-
Graham's like,
Not having
it is
it.
a lot.
Yeah,
It's
I
just,
fully thought that was in character.
Yeah,
it's-
it fits.
no, because in my
is there a
mind I'm
sense
like,
of urgency?
yes, we should go quickly, but I was going to say something and then I stopped myself, and so I just ended up with a moment. Urgency would be suggested. We have somewhere to be.
Get my...
It's just like,
Yeah, I know. In 20 minutes they're just gonna turn off because I can't turn off the scheduler without opening the app or whatever. Yeah. All right, then urgency. We go quickly. Can I get an athletics check from everyone?
Oh, good lord.
oh fuck, that was
Right at those.
actually not bad at all. That's a 26.
Hmm,
It was a 19. Very exciting. Ooh,
Awesome.
Eminence.
21 from Eminence.
Nice. Oh, not good.
7 minus 2, so it's a 5.
Oh, mine's a 5, but I don't have any minuses. I thought that I would, but it's a flat 5. I have nothing.
5, and then Aery, that was a what?
A 5.
Oh, so we have the 2, the 5, and then 26. You said?
26. I had 19 plus 7, so.
Yeah.
I think I rolled a
And-
19 too, but I'm not as proficient. 21.
21. Okay. So as the horses immediately take off, there is a clear distinction. Natalie and Eminence just immediately sort of raise up in the saddle. The horses take off, navigating through the people, dodging obstacles on the street, having just a very swift and efficient route southwards. The rest of you, including El Romeor, immediately just get jostled about as your horses still seem a little out of it by the earthquake that just happened. The crowds of people are making it difficult to manage your horses. You find yourselves having to pull your horses away from crowds of people to prevent more accidents or difficulty, slowing down at different obstacles. In the span of about 5 or so minutes, there's a pretty sizable gap between Natalie and Eminence and everyone else. The two of you get an opportunity to look back and see that the rest of the party is falling behind. You can choose to continue at the same pace or wait for them to catch up.
Absolutely not. We're gonna try and keep them up at the same rate.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll keep going at the same rate. I like to imagine that I just hear Oriana's armor like clanging behind us and look back, kind of notice that they're struggling and just share a look with Natalie that's like, yeah, we're cool.
Yeah.
I do also feel like we feel relatively confident in the city too, so I'm not super concerned with that. But once we do like kind of exit the city, that will be when we're like more concerned with being together.
Absolutely. At about this point, you get you reach sort of the market district where there are all the different shops and stalls, and here the damage the damage is the noisiest. The merchants in the area are crying about their wares and, oh, that wasn't your stand, that was my stand, and this sweater was on my rack over here, and just constant yelling and bickering as some people seem to have tried to take advantage of the chaos of the situation. There are also a number of town guard sort of breaking up different groups of people. A number of stalls have sort of collapsed in on themselves as well. Let's go ahead and get another athletics check from everyone.
That market stall, is that where we had the fair all those sessions ago?
That was the north side of the city. That was the carnival.
I think the
So I was
market
gonna,
is...
like, as I ride past, be like, it was that demon bear! But alas.
It was the carny.
The market was the place we chased Shazarash, wasn't it? The first time?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
What are we rolling?
This wasn't as good.
Another athletics.
Oh,
I got a 19 this time, still flat, so just 19.
19.
Not a 5.
Ugly.
I also rolled.
More dexterity based than athletics based. I have bad for everything, but
Wait, if you make it dex based, then I get a minus 1.
So the reason that I'm going with athletics is this is endurance. This is traveling a long distance on the horse instead of just a quick ride.
Well, that one's only a 12 and not a 5, so
12 is better than 5.
I actually got a 13 because I rolled a natural 6.
13, okay.
I got the same as last time, 21.
Nice. Yeah, Eminence, as you're making your way through the crowd, you're like, this is actually pretty... You get into that rhythm with your horse, and you start to sort of understand, like, this is a lot of fun. This isn't just a smelly vehicle. This is a horse. This is really nice.
Energy.
You start to sort of understand that horse girl energy. And you pull away from Natalie. Natalie starts to lag behind, and catching up just behind Natalie is Oriana, as your horse manages to push through the crowd. Aery, you still manage to stay in the back with Romeor, but either way, the party continues on, and you make your way through the market district and finally arrive at the lumber yards, far on the south of town. From clear of the lumber yards, it is the long road down to the wood itself. So this is the final set of obstacles. Out here, the damage seems to be more intense. Many of the wooden structures used to support and store different lumber and trees and cut and split and distribute all of this wood have collapsed, despite what looks to be more sturdy furnishings. The rifts in the ground are greater and deeper, sometimes a 5-foot gap sort of gouging out across the middle of the road that your horse has to navigate around. Luckily, as it was nighttime, this part of town was less populated, So there are significantly less people here an hour after the fact, but you can still see that in the morning there's going to be a lot of damage to this area that's going to be very difficult to manage. Let's get one final athletics check for everyone to get through this part of town.
So it's like middle ground this time. That's a 13.
I'm so used to being like, oh, I rolled like a 12. That's going to be bad. But that's actually still 19. So, like, that ain't that bad.
13, 19.
Also, what is
16.
with my maths today? I'm very good at
16?
counting.
And Eminence?
12.
12. Bum, bum, bum. So Eminence, finally, your horse starts to get a little tired. It was the most excited and frightened while in the pen. So immediately coming out for a walk and then going on a pretty strong gallop has caused it to start to flag a little bit. And you empathize with the horse. You're like, you know what? Let's not push it as much. So you're actually okay, I think, with lagging it down just a little bit more. But swiftly catching up behind you is the rest of the party as you make it clear of the lumber yards without incident and find yourselves on the long road south of Valetaire, heading into the dark woods further down. Did anyone bring torches?
I think we already have them.
Wait, do all
as
of you
part
have
our
night
I
pact.
vision?
think all of
We
us
also
have
have
All
dark
of you
vision.
have night vision?
I think we all have dark vision, yeah.
Yeah.
El Romeor is like,
Oh,
wow, now that we are clear of all of the lanterns, it is very dark.
Your eyes will adjust. I think.
Yeah, it's
Is it
like
really?
regular dark.
I don't think I've been in the deep wood in the dark without a group of people in a long time since I was very small. Anyways, not time for this. Let's keep going. And you continue on.
We how long was it until we got to the Forest of Statues from the city again?
So that was something that was inconsistent when the forest was moving.
Yeah.
At this point, probably an hour or so of
Okay.
riding.
Sure.
Oh, horses don't have dark vision.
But I mean, like, is it like more what I'm trying to say is like, you know, if you're out in like the bush or something, it's not impossible to see. We are following a path, like, because we do have torches, but also if we can avoid it, probably best to not light any.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Oh, no, you go.
Yeah. I was going to say that you are still sort of in the plains between the city and the wood itself. So maybe about half of that journey you can see by the light of the moon above and the stars. But as you get closer and closer towards the forest, the path becomes less of a stone and cobble path and more just dirt.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty... I guess I'll just ask everyone what they kind of think, but suggest lighting a torch. I can light one, because if something goes after me, I'm fine.
I mean,
Ish.
I can cast light, but I would rather not do it unless it's completely necessary.
I'm more thinking about the horses. If they can't see, then we can't get there.
Well, we can tell them where to go. If the ground isn't too treacherous, then they just got to go in a straight line and we can put them there.
We could just slow down a little.
True. We can slow down. It's not an issue. If that's what we think is better.
I mean, I can
I
cast
think-
light. I just don't want anything to attack us. We don't know what's been shaken up out here.
Well, with all of the damage that we have seen in the lumber yards, I have to wonder how much damage has been done as we get closer and closer. You are correct, Aery. There are these. You can see the rings of this much more clearly here. So if the damage is worse here, I think it might be good if our horses could see,
Yeah,
just
that
in
makes
case.
sense. What is light? Touch spell? Yes.
I think you bestow an item with light.
Yeah, I have to touch it though. So I will sidle up to Natalie's horse if she's in the front, and just like lean from the saddle and touch like the chest
bridle?
piece of the horse,
Mhm.
so that it shines like from its chest and not its face.
So you put a headlight on it, yeah.
Hmm.
Or I guess a body light if it's from the chest.
Yeah.
You set the horse to going to a rave, basically.
Yeah.
It's got glow sticks on the hooves. Yeah, you set the lights and you can see in a 20-foot radius pretty well. Past that 20 foot, it is a little bit more difficult to see, but you can still see the suggestion of the land nearby. And it actually ends up paying off rather well. As you continue further south with your horses, some of the gouges in the ground are even larger, 10 feet wide, descending down about 15 feet into the ground as it just seems to be torn and rent apart. Um, in some in some places, it looks less like the ground was together and split, but almost as if something reached down and scooped these great gouges out. The ground is just ruptured and broken, yeah, in unnatural ways. But as you continue onward, you finally start to come into sight of the trees of the deep wood, and the darkness underneath them is deep and heavy. You can see a number of trees as you get closer and closer are leaning and askew at odd angles. The vast majority are still upright, but here and there, some of the trees are tilted over 20, 30 degrees. Some of them are broken and bent down on the ground. There are enormous canopies creating these enormous thickets of foliage. But your path is relatively unobstructed as you make your way further south.
Can I just, I kind of want to, like, as we're going, kind of get a general vibe of whether or not we should be afraid here, if that makes sense. Like,
Are you trying to insight check the environment?
or mainly I'm trying to do a survival check as kind of like a, you know, like,
Okay.
everything is upturned, right? But like maybe I can
Yeah.
notice that there's like maybe some animal tracks that seem a bit sus or whatever. Like, would the hairs be standing on the back of my head kind of deal?
Gotcha. Yeah, go ahead and make a survival check for me.
It's not the best. It's a 15, which makes it a 20, an unnatural 20.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, with an unnatural 20, it's hard. You like recognize some of the trees and recognize the path that you were on only a couple of days ago, but it has changed so much with how much the land has shifted and broken from this earthquake. You think that looking about, the most dangerous things are probably the trees that are at odd angles. Either they hold and they stay at those odd angles, or they don't and fall. And that could be dangerous if you are nearby. In addition, as far as wildlife, the Deepwood has always been strange about wildlife. You don't hear any birds as it is nighttime. You do see a couple of tracks here and there for different game animals, but nothing stands out to you as strange or outstanding.
Cool.
Yeah, with a 20, I would probably say as you're scanning the environment, it's probably about 5 or 10 minutes before you realize that you don't smell any mint.
That's good.
Whereas previously, when you went down into the deep wood, even when you didn't get like these strong breezes, there was just like this faint aroma of it. But now it seems like earthy
Good.
Yeah.
Good to know. I will just signal to the party to form a line, and just kind of keep an eye on any trees and things along the way that seem like they would be rather treacherous.
Awesome. Following your instruction, the party is able to take some diversions around some trees that look a little precarious, and though nothing falls or collapses on the path, you do take the safer route just to be safe.
Good, good. I like not running into trouble. I have advantage on decks things that I can see, but no one else does. But yeah.
Hashtag barbarian things.
I won't die, however the rest of you probably will.
Yeah, awesome. Continuing on, you make your way further south until you finally start to approach the vestiges, the edges of the Forest of Statues. And those of you with dark vision can see the dark, blurred shapes in the distance becoming more and more apparent as you get closer and closer towards this garden. Some of the statues appear to have fallen and crumpled and broken down onto the ground. The area that you are entering and heading towards is the humanoid area, from what you remember. Of Satine, you see no sign, but it is dark and quiet. There is
Also, that
still a... Oh, go ahead.
doesn't necessarily mean anything, though, because she does have her, like, weird alternate dimension thing, right? So, like, not seeing her doesn't seem super weird. The lights are like, I would like
Bye.
menacing.
Frightening.
It's 1 a.m. It's time to go to bed, guys. Yeah. So she has set up like the illusory curtain, basically, that splits off from the monstrous folk. Yeah. The damage here seems to be the most severe. The ground beneath your feet has less chasms than further out, but the sheer force of the vibrations has almost made it spongy, as if the packed earth has suddenly been allowed to expand and air has settled in. So as your horses take steps, slowly their hooves seem to almost sink an extra half inch to an inch with each step that they take. The grass has been upturned. You can see different colonies of insects. Like an anthill has been completely uprooted, and they're just sort of swarming over the area trying to get themselves resituated. A number of, as I've said, these statues have fallen, and in some cases, as you get closer, you can see they've also shattered and broken. Arms crushed, heads missing or broken, fallen off, clothing, capes just cracked in different places. Probably about 20%, 1 in 5 of the statues appears to have suffered some form of damage.
Remind me that the bodies that these statues correspond to, they were buried here, yes?
Yes.
Let's stay on the horses. She'll kind of look at all the sort of the where the ground has come up and like anthills and stuff
Yeah,
and messed up.
yeah.
It's like, oh,
I mean, I was maybe just about to suggest we get off. If anything happens, we might be better on foot.
oh, you're welcome to.
Sure. And kind of in like a stubbornness, she would get off her horse.
Mhm.
And put
And
her
as you kind
foot
of-
right through a skull.
Yeah, as you jump off your horse, your feet kind of sink a little bit into the dirt, and it's almost like, have you ever been to those like those gymnastic places that have the foam,
Yep.
like the
Yep.
foam pits?
Uh-huh.
It's one of those things where you kind of reach the bottom of the foam pit and it's still like a little soft and foamy, but it has that give to it.
Yeah, I'd like to kind of walk my horse back a little, because like if something happens, I don't overly want the horse to get caught up in it. Just to like
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
put
yeah.
it to the side so it can like go and just, it's not tethered or anything, so if it needs to run away, and I'll just
Okay,
continue
yeah.
on foot.
Yep.
But
I
does
love the puppy getting so much attention right now.
Poor thing. She does look upset.
Oh,
She that barking before was she had a bad dream, and now
oh,
she's like, I need to find somewhere to hide. I want to.
oh.
I want to be safe, and I want to be with you, and I want to be like in the dark. I'm like, well, we could tuck you in your fucking blanket, and she's like, no, I gotta
But she
be
always-
touching you.
She always looks a little bit upset, at least.
She does always look a little bit upset. So I'm my chest. It's the alien. There's an alien in it.
Chest burster. Except it's Lily instead of the alien. Yeah, you set up your horse reasonably well. I think El Romeor will dismount as well and hop down, just trying to take in the situation. And after looking about for a little bit, he pulls out a small lantern and sort of snaps his fingers, and all of a sudden the lantern lights up so that he has a little bit of light, and holds it up above him and examines this strange area. But you have arrived at the Forest of Statues. What would you like to do?
I guess, can we get a vibe if like it's kind of like when you drop something into a pond and there's like the outer ripples, like does this look like it's the site where it all actually came from?
Yeah, the like deep gouges in the ground probably stopped about 5 or 10 minutes back when the ground kind of became this soft sort of area. Make an investigation check for me.
You don't feel like making it perception?
I do not. This is piecing together multiple things.
Yeah,
Anyone can
that's
make
fair.
an investigation check if they like.
Yeah, I'll take a look around.
El Romeor got a natural 1.
Yikes.
18.
Wonderful. So glad we brought him.
So he's like walking through the dirt and is like, this is a very strange feeling.
I
We
got a
got a
7.
natural 20. We get to be opposites. So it's a 21.
Okay.
I'm also just incapable of rolling anything but 21 this afternoon.
Oh, did you get a 21 as well?
Good though. Turns out that staying on your horse was the better idea.
We're up higher. We can see more.
Yeah, so the two sisters, from what you see looking at the area around you, it's as if you had a plate of sand and all of a sudden you drop a rock in the center of the sand. There are going to be ripples of energy heading outward from that central location, but the most ripples will be focused on the central area. Because most of the energy was sort of condensed in that central area where the rock fell, instead of getting these great deep gouges, you got this weird sort of distributed vibration that caused the ground beneath you to sort of soften. As a result, that means you get the sense that you are nearing the center, but it's hard to say exactly where, just because it's such a large area. Even with a natural 20, you get an idea that it could be behind the next tree, or it could be 5 minutes away. You could know for certain by heading to the other side of the Forest of Statues and trying to see where the sort of ripples end and gauging a center point, but from where you're at looking, it's kind of hard to see.
I'm going to just sort of spur my horse on to slowly walk in the direction that feels closer to the epicenter.
Okay.
Just kind of keep an eye out. I mean, yeah.
Without us
Go
knowing
looking.
how to like look behind the curtain or anything, because it's not us that does it.
Well, from what you remember, you could just walk through it.
Yeah, I think if we came across it, we would just walk into it. Like, I don't think it's
Yeah,
actually
yeah, yeah.
displaced. It's just...
But also, like, you know, obviously they would have people visiting here all the time. They don't just want someone randomly stumbling into it. Like,
So you
I guess
remember
we would
where
know
it
where
is.
it.
You
Yeah,
were taken there. Yeah.
true.
Are we heading in that direction? Does it seem like that's kind of the where things are centered?
So would you like to follow your gut instinct, or would you like to try and head in that direction?
I would like to try and head not in the direction of the hidden part. I want to try to head in the direction that I feel like is the epicenter of where these waves are coming from. And if it happens to be towards the hidden part, then that's awesome. But I'm looking to go towards where things seem to have originated from.
Yeah. So you find yourself deviating slightly from those of you who head towards the center. Does anyone go towards the center?
I'm keeping pace with Emmy, so.
I
Yeah,
think
sure.
Aery will stick with Natalie, so wherever she goes.
Yeah. El Romeor stays with the two of you as well. And he's sort of just looking around, surprised at everything. The two sisters, you find yourselves deviating slightly, not quite side by side, but the further on you pass through the forest of statues, the further you sort of deviate off a little bit. And it's hard not to be unnerved by the stone figures in the dark, knowing that it is just the five of you, some of you on horse, some of you on foot, seeing some of them bent and broken and cracked on the ground, some of them standing in triumphant poses, but what is at first a claw reaching out of the shadow as the light gets closer becomes a hand outstretched to grab. What becomes a sneering face in the dancing lights becomes a smile as the light illuminates it further. It is hard not to feel this weird sensation of not quite being alone, but not having evidence to point to the contrary. Either way,
Remind you a little of home, Ori.
A little, yeah.
It's kind of nice.
Adding in the context, less so.
Yikes.
big yikes. Either way, you soon reach the edge of the forest of statues out to the sort of small patch of grass beyond, about 30 or so meters away, that you recognize to be the area where the monstrous races are kept. And more specifically, where the stone is kept. And the sisters, the two of you, are probably only about 20 or 30 feet away from the rest of the party with your sort of deviated line. But you feel that you also will intersect and head into the hidden section of the Forest of Statues.
Gonna keep on chugging.
Yeah, I guess we just keep going. If we haven't had a reason to stop.
Yeah.
Could I look around to see if I want to say Selena, but I feel like that's wrong.
Team?
Satine, is there any sign of her?
I was going to say the same thing. Is there any sign that she's been out and gone, can I put this back to, you know what, actually, fuck it. Here's a pile of things that I will do later.
She just went back to bed. She's like, nah, can't do it.
Yeah. You do see that there is a set of smaller footprints heading not quite from the Forest of Statues itself, but a little bit beyond towards that area. And much like the illusion, they continue on and then just kind of stop as the illusion hides everything beyond them.
Definitely gonna keep going then.
El Romeor I think we have passed the forest of statues. I don't.
Oh yeah, you haven't done this before. We keep going.
Oh, okay. And he
You have
follows
to be-
along.
You have to promise you'll be chill with what you see, though. So we weren't supposed to tell anyone.
I think this is the third time you have had a similar sort of conversation about this sort of thing today. But yes, I will be chill. And there is little sound, but the sound of your footsteps sinking into the dirt, your horses occasionally letting out small whinnies as they make their way towards the illusion. And you step in to the forest of statues of the monstrous races. And you immediately recognize some of the more monstrous races. Orcs, kobolds, in some cases, Yuan-Ti, you see goblins, the large sort of ogre is still towering in the center. And at its feet, you can see the still darkened humanoid shadow of King Arthur Lupo. But here, the damage to the statues also seems to be a little bit more severe. In some cases, you just see legs ending at a torso. You see them broken and bent across the ground, sort of scattered by the uneven terrain. But you also see the footprints of Satine heading through, continuing straight towards the ogre, and the statue of King Lupo.
Is the statue of the shapeshifter intact?
It is on the opposite side. You will need to get closer to take a look in the dark.
Might check that on the way back.
You see the footprints going over towards the ogre, heading in that direction as you enter in, and El Romeor behind you kind of stops and wow. Well, I mean, they're all dead, right? I mean, in order for there to be a statue, they have to have died and been buried here. So, yeah.
Unless the stone brings him back to life.
Why would you bring that in?
That's just bad energy.
Oh,
Why do you have?
It's true, though.
Why do you share that energy with us? And
Well,
you can see that
if
he's
it
like
did happen, then just you should thank me for warning you in advance.
he's like visibly uncomfortable now as he like walks up to this massive hobgoblin and kind of
Aery just
Yeah.
throughout the campaign is just like, what if your worst fears came true? And we're all just like, I didn't
I know
even
you
think
may
of
not
that.
have thought of this, but this terrible thing could happen. Think about
yeah. You're the best friend for the DM. I'm just like, yes, give me more ideas. Yeah. He seems a little surprised and shaken, but the two pairs of you are about 30 feet off on the inside of this illusion, but you can see that it's maybe probably about 100 to 150 to the opposite side, and then beyond there is the other clearing where the stone should be.
Yay. Well, we should. Oh wait, no, we can't see it because we put something over it, didn't we? It was like some kind of like weird.
You had Satine put a second.
Yeah, that's right. We had it in a wagon. Literally anyone could touch it. We can't see her right now because we saw the footsteps going up towards the bottom. It's like,
you saw the footsteps heading towards the base of the ogre, towards where King Lupo was, but you cannot see her currently.
but she didn't go anywhere else. Like there's no those.
Well, you're still
Footsteps
standing
that
at the entrance.
continue.
The ogre is like 40 feet ahead of you. You would need to walk in to see where the footsteps go or if she's there.
Well, yeah, for sure. I will head closer then.
Yeah. You start to head closer, and tailing right behind you is El Romeor. A little bit closer than in the other forest of statues. And as you get closer and closer, you see that there's a little bit of activity around the base of the statue of King Lupo. Just footsteps and disturbances. You see that the tip of the blade that Lupo was holding has broken off, but the statue itself is still untouched. Beyond that, however, you see the footsteps sort of meander a little bit before heading over towards the illusion housing the stone.
Looks like we're continuing on. Anyone got any objections?
Instead of replying, I'll just kind of steer my horse in that direction.
Okay.
Excellent communication. Really. Let's go.
Heading through, following the footsteps and heading over towards the stone, it doesn't take you long to traverse through, and Natalie, your eyes do see the statue of Warwick's Blood Rider still standing there.
He would still be there.
But finally you get clear of the back half of the monstrous races, and it is about 30 feet or so to the illusion, and you continue forwards step by step, sinking into the dirt, the dust still heavy in the air, sort of just soaking into your lungs with each breath as someone turns into what looks like a taco.
I think it's bread.
Garlic
Is it bread?
Bread?
Hell yeah.
Oh, it's garlic bread.
I love
That's
it.
so good. We're just admiring your garlic bread.
It's so big.
It's so big.
I want the pizza one so bad.
Get it. We can be pizza and garlic bread. It messes up my camera so much though. It's so bright.
Finally, you break through the illusory barrier, and in front of you is the wagon. But not the wagon. It's kind of hard to say. It looks like the wagon, but it also looks as though it's been there for 100 years. It is overgrown and broken. The wood has these pock marks and tears in it of old age. The wheels are missing spokes in places as vines seem to grow up onto the side. And in the center of the wagon, you see the stone sitting there, unmoving.
This seems kind of bad, right?
This
This
seems
seems-
very bad.
Is
I don't know
this,
So
how it's
bad.
but it's definitely bad.
does this seem like some kind of weird, like, the forest is taking vengeance on this thing or something? No?
As you
I don't
ask
know if
that
the forest
question,
would destroy a wagon.
You see a tiny head pop up from the backside of the wagon as you recognize Satine, and her eyes are wide and her hair is kind of frizzled, and she very carefully raises up a finger.
Guys, I think I might know what's happening here.
I have an
Yes?
inkling.
It's got
And
her.
a moment later, you hear a footfall. Heavy. And then another.
This is a fucking tree. I swear. After all we've done.
Can we tell where the footfalls are coming from? Like which direction?
Yeah.
They do appear to be coming from behind you.
From that big statue of a the troll? Was
Okay.
it
Ogre.
ogre? It's probably just me personally being paranoid. Does it sound like the ogre statue has come to life?
It's hard to say.
We're gonna get
Just by
Duncan.
sound, you can make a perception check if you like.
Oh, that's no great. As a 10, I don't think I have a great bonus to perception. 13?
13. It's tough to say. It's something, but it is too far apart to make clear sound. And as your ears are sort of straining and listening, you hear the sound of stone grinding on stone, and then a heavy thud.
None of this allays my paranoia.
Just immediately thinking back to what Aery said about the things coming alive. And I just look at Aery, I'm like, I swear that maybe you wish these things into being sometimes.
Guys, just. I think we should be quiet.
I'm stage whispering.
You should try whispering.
Fine, maybe I will.
Yeah, El Romeor. I think this is a stone.
Yeah.
Does it look like it is? We can. I mean, let's look at it and go. I know.
I mean, we need to take it with us. So, like.
Well, this wagon is not going anywhere.
Oh, well, I'm not picking it up.
We not have this conversation. We see what's coming, and then we do the thing.
Well, we're kind of backed
Those
into a
of
corner
you-
right now.
Those of you with dark vision can look back behind you, and you can see sort of like the dark blobs of shapes of the forest of statues. And there is a much larger one towering over the rest. And as you strain and look and see, a massive step lurches forward, and then it just stops.
Tree?
Does it look organic? Like, is its movement very much like a stone has come to life?
Sorry, my computer is being difficult. What was that?
Sorry, does it look like it's moving like the way an organic thing would, or is it moving like a statue that had come to life?
Definitely the second one.
Awesome.
It is not like moving or breathing. When it isn't moving, it is completely still.
Cool.
So it is a statue and not a tree. I think I missed that.
It appears to be the statue of the ogre.
I want you.
Say these things.
I swear you're just some kind of like
What the
future
fuck
Jedi or
up?
something.
You did say it's chaos magic, right? Like chaos magic. That's what you do, yeah?
No, it's wild magic, not
Well,
chaos.
it's. We'll talk about this later.
The giant ogre picks up, and you can see what looks to be almost like a goblinoid creature in the giant hand of the ogre lifted up. It crunches, and pieces of stone and rock break down to the ground. And it doesn't do like an organic thing would, like crunch and move. Like only the fist closes and the rest of the body does not move. It stays as a statue.
We need to get past that to get out.
We need to
I
take
see.
the rock with us.
Yes, I know, but regardless of how we get out, we need to go past that thing.
If at the moment it can't see us, it might just leave.
It doesn't look like it's leaving.
That's because it's
Hasn't been
attracted
here
to sound
now.
and nobody can shut the fuck up.
It doesn't seem to be listening.
Oriana, we need to make a plan. I was suggesting we launch a surprise attack.
At this point, the giant statue of the ogre, the head swivels in your direction.
This was your fault, Aery.
I don't make noise.
Literally the only reason I'm still on a horse is because I know that getting off of it will make a lot more noise than sitting on it.
So each of you know that right now, technically, you are behind an illusion. You cannot be seen. But sound, on the other hand.
I think we're whispering though. Surely it's not super
I'm
loud. It's
Gonna
probably just like,
stop whispering.
Oh yeah, for sure. Maybe.
Keep hearing that sound. Yeah.
I know. I'm playing with something on my
What is it?
desk.
The head continues to look in your direction.
Out of character, I really hate that Oriana doesn't have message. I have message for almost all of my characters, and Oriana doesn't have it.
Message you have to whisper anyway. Yeah. You have to
You point
whisper,
and whisper.
which is the same as us whispering.
Yeah. That's true.
The
It's sending
giant
the
dark shape
brain.
takes a step. 3 steps quickly in succession.
Where is it heading towards?
It's heading in your direction. And then the massive arm swipes sideways, and you can see what looks like the statue of what might have been like a troll. A pretty large-sized 8-9 foot tall troll is just scattered sideways as chips of rock and body just go flying, and the statue immediately to the next of it looks like a group of kobolds, actually. The sheer force of rock pelting them, some of them kind of fall over into the grass and the dirt
That's accurate.
as the massive arm pulls back.
At this stage, about how far away from us is it?
I would say about 50 feet.
And while we know that it is, we're under an illusion, we are physically here. Like, we're
Yes.
just invisible to it currently.
By eyesight, yes.
All right, then.
So you can't see the illusion. You assume you're invisible, but it's kind of that weird, I'm hidden, but I can't tell that I'm hidden thing.
Mm.
Like, to you, it looks like you're standing in the open of a clearing around a wagon.
Like being on the other side of it, like
Exactly.
One-way
Yeah,
mirror.
two-way mirror.
Yeah.
One-way
yeah.
mirror.
I can't
Makes
remember
sense.
which one. I don't know.
Mm.
What is it?
The
It's a
two-way
two-way
side
mirror.
of the one-way mirror.
We're in
Yeah.
we're in the investigator side
Yeah.
where they're watching the people do the thing.
Yeah,
I'm
that's the one mirror.
going to point at it, and then I will hold until it gets within my movement to reach it before I head out. So in case it comes closer. Because the ground is still spongy, so it's probably only like 20 feet. I'm guessing.
What do you mean? Your movement?
So basically, I want to go out to it, to meet it, once I am able to reach it within my movement in like one turn per se. But I'm
Gotcha.
guessing the ground is spongy, so I'm guessing that would be about like half movement, roughly, maybe about
Yeah.
20.
So you can move. You get the sense that you can move at quote unquote half speed without any difficulty.
Yeah.
Or you could try to move your full speed with a little bit of difficulty. Might involve a small check.
I think I'm pretty
when-
safe with that.
Sorry.
I just want to split everyone up if it gets too close. So yeah, I think I'll go with 20, I reckon. Like when it gets to 20 feet, I'll run out. But if it stops at 30, then I'm like, I and you, but I'm not going out there yet.
Yeah, when I see Natalie like preparing to move, I'll like gesture at everyone to get people's attention, like, and then I would like to Misty Step 30 feet away from us. If I can get, I can't get like behind it, but just like as far from our position in a different direction as I can move.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna make some noise. And, like grab a tree branch and shake shit around.
So you've got like the forest of statues kind of like, I don't know, here-ish. You're up here and you're trying to misty step this way, or like this way, or this way.
Well, okay, so say there's a line between us and the rock monster. If I can go like over here or over here, somewhere that will turn it away from our current trajectory.
Gotcha.
And just, I can only move 30 feet, so as far as I can get from us.
Absolutely, yeah. And you use the misty step. You just go.
Yep, I just go.
Cool.
And then I shake trees.
The moment you appear, you kind of land a little bit awkwardly on the spongy earth. The head swivels over to look at you, and as you start to make noise, the body turns and it begins walking in your direction. It's 40 feet away. Let's go ahead and get everyone to roll for initiative, please.
Lucky I have advantage.
Oh, I got a 19.
Nice.
19.
Not an 8. I roll so badly for initiative in this campaign consistently.
I don't know why I roll everything on D&D Beyond, but initiative, like physically, because I don't have nice dice that are kind to me. I got a 9.
9. And Natalie?
I have a 15.
15. Okay, so Aery, you see that the creature is moving quickly towards Eminence, who has just misty stepped 15 feet over to the side. You get the sense that it is slow, so you probably have a little bit more than one turn before it reaches Eminence, but it is large and looks heavy and painful. You're up first.
I am going to Misty Step as well to the furthest point away from it that I can get, like without trapping the group in between. So like diagonally, like 30 feet in the other direction.
Absolutely.
Wait, that's bonus action. Oh no, bonus action. Yeah, is a Misty Step. Is a bonus step. Bonus action. Bonus action.
Misty Step.
Yes, and then wait, can I still cast a spell then? Because you can't cast 2-leveled spells, can you?
Are you using Misty Step as a leveled spell?
Yeah, it's always a 2nd level spell, but it's not like an attack.
Yeah, because
it's
I think
bonus action.
Yeah.
Yes, so you only get one spell and one cantrip, I believe, and that's with.
That's right. I will just.
Roll me a wild magic surge, please.
That's it's a D20.
D20, yeah.
Can you just roll a D20 on here? I just googled.
Yeah.
Roll.
Down on the bottom left, you got a little red circle.
That's a 1.
I cannot. You got a 1, really?
I got a 1.
Oh, heckin' yes.
What does that mean?
Why don't you roll me a D100, please?
Okay. D100. 15.
15. Okay. Awesome. So you misty step, creating some distance behind yourself. You feel the sort of wild magic used to propel you sort of surge through you for a moment, and then all of a sudden, just unexpectedly, it kind of flares within you. And maybe it was like when you haven't driven in a long time and you get into the car and the first time you hit the gas pedal it just kind of like lurches a little bit. Maybe you just gave it like a little too much. It's hard to say, but you feel that surge of arcane energy within you. You feel healthy, like really healthy. For the next minute, you regain 5 hit points at the start of each of your turns.
Fuck yeah. Awesome.
It feels good to have your magic back. Like, it was only gone for a little while, but it feels really good.
Fuck yeah. I'm gonna hit this golem with a firebolt.
Awesome. Love it.
16.
16. You take the fireball, throw it out. It hits the chest and just scatters.
Shit. Does it notice though?
It currently seems to be singularly focused on the other person that it can see,
Shit.
which is Eminence.
Okay.
Okay. That is Aery. Natalie.
I obviously am currently hidden. I can obviously tell they're using a diversion. But I am just kind of trusting in them that they can get back, so I'm still going with the I will only move if it gets within 20 feet of us.
Okay. So it's heading diagonally towards Eminence. You get the sense that it can, like, at the 45-degree angle from your location and Eminence's location, it will cross within the 20-foot threshold as it passes by you.
Okay.
To go to Eminence.
I guess then I would like to specify that only when it's going towards us, if that makes sense. Like for the next round,
okay.
Only if it's like us 20 foot, not if it just like,
gotcha.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
I'm holding my turn action thing.
Great.
Yeah.
Eminence, you are up.
I would like to Misty Step right back to where I started, but can I try to time it in one of his like steps so that hopefully any sound of me landing is covered?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check for me.
In.
16. Yes. Yeah. With the 16, you're able to time it. You're like 1, 2, and just pop and vanish and reappear immediately back within the location. Actually, that is a good question.
Shit.
I think you have to see where you're going.
Do I have to see it, or can I just be aware of it? Hang on,
Briefly surrounded, you teleport to an unoccupied space that you can see. I guess technically you can.
I can see the
it.
space.
It just looks like an illusion. So I'll say roll a 50-50 for me. Roll any dice and pick evens or odds.
Okay.
Or I guess I pick, don't I? Because I'm the DM, so you just roll.
Pick for me. 6.
6. You reappear directly in between El Romeor and your sister's horse. If you were a little bit to the left, you would have been little to the left or the right. You would have been a little too far.
I would have been a centaur.
Not necessarily a bad thing. Oriana.
So Aery hit it with like fire and it did nothing.
It seemed to have little effect, yes.
I'm gonna attempt to hit it with Toll the Dead, because that does 2 things. It makes noise directly where it is instead of where, we are, and maybe it might do some damage, but hopefully it disorientates it a little bit.
Okay.
It's a wisdom save.
Well, I can tell you it's not very wise. I was wrong, it's very wise. What's the DC?
13? It's not very high.
That is a 10. That is a
Oh,
fail.
thank God. Okay. Well, that's not very much damage, though. Uh, did Aery do any damage at all? Is it missing any hit points?
It did not take any damage from what you can tell.
Dang. Then it's a D8 and it takes 2.
2 necrotic damage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The bell kind of rings around it. You can see like dust and dirt that has gathered on the creature's body kind of shakes off from the vibration of it. As the sound rings out, the arms kind of swing absently at the air nearby. It appears to suffer no damage from the Toll the Dead spell. Big dang.
Big. Real big.
Anything else you want to do?
While it is making the jingle jangle noises around its head, that was part of the I had a thought process. I would like to get off my horse.
Okay, yeah.
Hopefully to be disguised in the bell noise.
Yeah, you time it and immediately land down next to your sister.
Because I'm loud.
And your armor clatters, but seems to be relatively well hidden under the volume of noise.
That's it. I don't need to go anywhere. I just don't want to be on the horse in case we need to
Awesome.
do anything.
Romeor. He gets the sense that y'all are still trying to stay hidden within the sort of illusory circle. So he will hold his action. The statue stops for a single step as it was tracking towards Eminence, and then the head swivels back over and looks directly at you, Aery. And towards the next target that it can see, its legs begin to carry it in your direction. It can only travel 25 feet, so at the end of its movement, it is about 35 feet away from you. It's still pretty far away, so it's very, very slow. However, its trajectory has brought it to within about 10 feet of the illusory circle. So it is kind of right next to the rest of the party just by how it's kind of traveled around. It is not heading directly for the circle, but it is going past, apparently. That is the statue. Aery, you are up. And Natalie, you're on deck.
Okay, I would like to cast Chromatic Orb at 3rd level. Third? Yes.
3rd level. Awesome.
I was trying to see what sort of damage I have on it. Yes, at 3rd level, which will be 24 to hit.
What was that?
A 24 to hit.
24 hits.
Oh, and that is 29 damage.
Oh, wow.
Which is a lot more than I thought it would be. And I would like to use
At 3rd level?
at 3rd level. Yeah, it's 5d8. I rolled an 8, a 3, an 8, a 4, and a 6.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah.
I'm just trying to use and I'm going to use acid damage.
Okay. You hold your ground, and it is a little unnerving to have this giant thing just lumbering towards you, but you reckon you've got a couple of seconds to get off some spells. You spin out the chromatic orb. It spins through the air, flickering with this sort of pale green energy as it crashes into the shoulder of the creature. The spray of acid goes all across and begins to sink into the stone. You see there is a gouge where the blast hits. However, it seems to have reduced effectiveness. as the stone seems to be almost resistant to acid damage. However, it is still lumbering towards you. Anything else?
Yes, I just want to back up about 30 feet.
How far?
About 30 feet, I think.
30 feet? Okay, yeah. You back up. It is 65 feet away from you now. Okay. Awesome. Natalie, you're up. Eminence, you're on deck.
I'm gonna be boring, and so everyone is currently within the illusion. It's just Aery that's outside of it, right?
Yes. Yep.
Again, gonna trust Aery knows what he's doing, and I am going to hold my action then instead, unless Aery is in mortal danger, like past unconscious danger.
Unconscious.
Well, like, what if there's one hit and then you're just fucking down? Like, that's my logic.
Now who's making nightmare scenarios?
Why
But I
would you
have
wait
to-
until
no, 'cause
then
you-
to do
'cause you-
something?
Well, like, that's the point, is that, like, you know, I figure, like, you know, it's like, if it's a really big hit, then yeah, you're in mortal danger. Congratulations. I'll go out and help you. But if you're not in immediate danger, you might take, like, one hit. I trust that you know what you're doing.
Aery's definitely expecting that everyone else would get involved. But you don't know
Aery,
that, so...
You
Aery
realize
has
now that
Misty Step.
the statue is about 10 feet away from the illusory sort of circle that is housing everyone, and nobody's coming out of it. As far as you can see, it's just you and the giant statue. One-on-one battle for the ages. Awesome. Natalie, you're still holding your action. Anything else?
I don't know. Now I'm second guessing everything, but it's not like we talked about it beforehand. I mean, yeah, if Aery is in danger, that's really it. I'm just waiting till then to run out if I need to.
Awesome. Eminence, you are up. Oriana, you're on deck.
I'd like to do something quite similar. I'm going to hold my action and prepare to fire off an Eldritch Blast, but I'm not aiming at the creature. I'm going to aim kind of like just over its shoulder, behind it, like where it's not facing Aery.
To get it to like look away.
The intention of, yeah, like distracting it if need be, because I think if I hit it directly, it might just interpret that as an attack from Aery.
Okay. Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'll fire that off if it looks like if Aery takes any damage, then I'm going to fire that off.
Okay. Yeah, awesome. Anything else?
No.
Oriana.
I am. How far away did Aery get from us? If they went 30 feet to another 30 feet, are they 60 feet away?
Yeah, Aery's pretty far.
Okay.
Oh, actually, that's a good point. You moved at regular speed through the soft ground. Go ahead and make me an athletics or acrobatics check.
Oh. They're both bad. 6.
6. At 15 feet, you trip as an uprooted branch from the soft earth catches your foot and fall down.
Very good.
So you are 45 feet away from everyone else.
Still too far. I am going to leave that for now. And oh no, wait! I don't even have a fucking equip today. Never mind. I was gonna say I'm gonna wait till Aery gets back into like 30 feet, and then I'll cast aid on a couple of people. But I don't actually have aid. Never mind for that. I am, however, going to cast spiritual weapon because that is 30 feet next to the big boy.
Okay.
At how many spell slots do I have left? Just a second level. I only have one of each, and I feel like I may need it for healing. And then I'm going to bop it because I can do that when I cast it. Let's see. Do I successfully bop it? Does it have a plus?
+6.
+6? Oh, okay, that's not too bad. 18.
18. So is this your two-headed snake again?
Yes, my big two-headed snake.
Your big two-headed snake appears sort of to the side of this massive statue, and the head just immediately lashes out against the stone body and slides right across. The fangs seem to almost sink in as if they don't find purchase. I'm afraid an 18 is not a hit.
Ooh. No, that's really about all I can do for right now. Yay.
Yeah, up next is Romeor. He looks around. He sees that y'all are doing spells that appear next to it, but not coming from the illusory circle. And he doesn't have anything that does that. So he holds his action. The statue is up. It moves another 25 feet. So it is about 30 feet away from you, Aery, as it continues running forward. Does it get an opportunity attack from your spiritual weapon? Can your spiritual weapon take opportunity attacks?
I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it does not.
Okay.
No.
As the statue runs, its massive hand kind of drags down into the dirt next to it, almost like dipping into water while riding on a boat, and lifts up out of the ground, picking up an enormous rock that it pulls back and throws at you, Aery. Because you are prone, it has disadvantage.
Oh, thank God.
That is a 14 to hit.
That still hits.
Still hits. Okay. 4 plus 4 is 38 points of damage. That is bludgeoning. As this
38
massive
points?
38 points of bludgeoning damage.
Cool, I have 34 hit points, so I am crushed to death by the rock.
Okay, this huge rock just crashes in, and everyone collectively has the moment of like, oh, it's not going to be that, oh no, as the rock just crashes into Aery and then kind of bounces off a little bit with its own continued momentum, and you can see sort of just the indentation in the soft earth next to it. And as the rock bounces and it sees that you don't move or react from that, it kind of stops running and appears to be standing there, still in that arm outstretched position.
My Eldritch Blast.
Oh,
Yeah, also my held action as well.
So you have your held action. Would you like to use your held action and shoot from within? You can choose not to use it if you like.
Yeah, I'm shooting.
You're shooting. Okay. Still shooting to miss or shooting to hit?
Still shooting to miss because I don't trust that it is fully distracted from Aery yet.
Sure.
So shooting over its shoulder.
Yeah, go ahead and take an attack roll, and you can give yourself disadvantage, I think.
Okay. Oh, because one was a natural 20. And 8. Two.
Oh, Romeor will take his held action. Seeing you shoot, he is going to shoot as well. That's a natural 1.
Right, so mine was either a natural 20 or an 8 with disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm afraid an 8 is not going to hit.
That is good.
Yes. Your shot sails past, and a moment later, a firebolt sails past in the same direction, sort of these harrying shots to distract it. They completely miss. The head kind of swivels around confused. Natalie, your held action?
Yeah, I'm going out to hit it as far
Okay,
as I can get, at least, even if I need to use like a athletics or whatever to get close to it.
It's like 10, 30. It's about 30 feet away from you.
I have
I would
40
say.
feet of movement, so I'm happy to make a check to try and get out there.
All right, make an athletics or acrobatics across the dirt.
14, so that will be 21.
14? 21? Yeah, that's more than enough. You easily keep your footing steady. As you run, making the noise, the head slowly begins to swivel in your direction.
Sure. And I hit it. I'll hit it, hopefully. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Take an attack roll.
Technically, I think it says that I can't use fucking what's
Move
it called
and
again?
attack as a held action.
No.
Rage?
The one that gives me advantage. I think it has to be on my turn.
Reckless?
Yeah.
I
can't.
Whenever
I can't
you take an
find
attack.
it. Where is it? When you
Reckless
make
attack.
your
When
first
you make
attack
your
on your
first
turn.
attack on your turn.
Yeah,
it is
so
not
I
your
don't think
turn.
that counts. But that's fine. Let's see how this goes. I also would not be raging, obviously, anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. The first one is a natural 18, so whatever that is plus, but let me just roll both of them first. And that's a natural 19. Fucking sick.
Nice.
Which is plus 7, so that will be 26 and
both of those hit.
25. Yep. Cool. So that's not plus rage damage, so that's a 10 for the first one, which is slashing damage. Shit,
Okay.
I rolled that off, but that's 15 slashing damage for the second one as well.
Awesome.
And I'm not raging, so nothing else happens.
Yeah, you raise your axe, and though you're not raging, you still feel rage within you to seeing Aery just go down like that. You strike against its leg and midsection, and it is like striking a solid stone wall. Your axe almost wants to bounce off, but you just, with sheer force, puncture through into the stone and then wrench it free, and once again sink back in. You can see chips of rock falling off of the hip, but the head turns and looks towards you. And now that you're finally close to it, you can see the face is split in this enormous grin across the face. The eyes completely flat and emotionless, but for this enormous grin as it looks towards you and seems to be getting ready to attack.
Yikes, hate that.
Yeah, that is your held action. I don't think that was Romeor's. Everyone else's no more held actions? Okay. Aery, you are up. Let's get a death saving throw.
How do I roll death saves?
I think it's just a D20.
Oh, so you know, okay. I thought it did it on like the through the thing.
Yeah, the way they do death saves is the same as they do the temp HP.
12.
Or the 12. That's one success. Natalie, you're up. Eminence, you're on deck.
Okay, I will immediately rage, because very nervous about not being raged to take any kind of damage. And I will hit it again.
Okay, let's get some attack rolls.
That'll be twice
or no?
with reckless.
Okay.
So the first one that's cocked. A 20 to hit.
Hits.
Second is 21. 14 plus 7? 21?
7 is 21,
yeah,
that's correct.
cool.
Both of those hit.
Okay. That's a 2 on a d12. Plus 4 plus... Oh shit, is it 2? Yeah, 2. So... 8. 2 plus 4 plus 2. Yeah, that makes sense. 16 on the second one. That's both slashing as well.
Nice.
And that will initiate the... what is it called again? Ancestral Protectors.
Protector. Yeah.
So first creature has a disadvantage on any attack that isn't against me, and when it hits a creature other than me, that creature has resistance.
Awesome. Great. Once again, those sort of spectral apparitions of your ancestors almost appear surrounding the creature, and the face doesn't look. The face continues to like focus laser-like onto you, but you can see the hand kind of absent-mindedly swat at one of the apparitions, just kind of passing through it. Anything else?
That's all I have. Bonus action, movement. Well, actually, don't need
Awesome.
movement. I mean, I guess I would just like to shimmy my way around to kind of like be like in a
between
direction
it
that's
and
not
Aery?
towards, not towards Aery and not towards, because obviously it's looking at me right now. So like,
Yeah.
kind of facing in a direction that if it was to like steamroll me, it wouldn't go
Okay,
in a bad
You
direction.
kind of swivel around it a little bit. Awesome. That is Eminence and Oriana, you're on deck.
I just don't think that I can, like, I am beginning to become aware of my squishiness, and I just saw what this thing can do.
Your
I'm
mortality is
gonna,
becoming apparent.
yeah. I'm gonna do what I did last time. I'm going to ready an Eldritch Blast. With the intention of distracting it again, but this time it will be if it attacks Natalie or Aery.
Okay, yeah. So
So if
I'll
I see
say
it like
that,
going back to take a swing, for example, then I will fire one off.
yeah, I'll say that if you manage to hit, you can give it disadvantage, but it won't do any damage.
Actually, if I see it readying an attack, like it's about to hit either of them, then I will fire it with the intention of hitting it.
Okay, yeah, awesome. Great. That brings us to Oriana.
I am going to. Ooh, look, Aery is on the floor. Would that mean it would be? Can I see them? Can I see Aery on the floor, or can I not
You
because they're on the
can.
floor?
Yes,
I can.
You can see like Aery's boots sticking up out of the dirt.
I cast Healing Word on Aery's boots.
Okay, yeah. How much health does Aery get?
Fuck all. 4.
Or Aery, you get a breath rushing back into your lungs, and there is just an absolute like tightness in your chest, as if something is just sitting on top of your lungs, preventing you from breathing.
Very sorry, I couldn't cast it higher than first level. I don't have very many spell slots today.
Better than rolling death saves. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
anything else?
I don't want to, but I don't have very many spell slots left, and I do have a mace, so I'm going to make my way towards the. I'm gonna maybe go combat, but I'm not athletic, so I am going to do it carefully. So I'm not going to get there this turn. We're going to do the half speed.
You do make it outside of the illusory bubble, and as you do clear, clinking in your armor, the head turns and takes note of you just appearing. But then the head swivels back to Natalie with singular focus. Yeah. That's it. Romeor makes a spell attack, and his firebolt flies off. Eminence, you could see that Romeor is kind of trembling a little bit. He was not expecting. Firstly, he wasn't expecting combat, and secondly, he was not at all prepared for this. He doesn't seem to be handling it well. The statue is up. It appears to be ready to take an attack against Natalie. So, Eminence, you've got your held action.
Yes, I would like to fire the Eldritch Blast, and if it is preparing to swing at her, I'd like to aim for like its arm or its hand.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's get an attack roll.
It is a 13 plus 6, a 19.
19 just hits. Let's get some damage.
My damage for this. It's saying 1d10, is that right? Guess that's right, but it's a 9.
All right. 9 points of what kind of damage?
Good question. Where will it say that? It's like too hard.
Spells,
Hang on.
blast. 1d10 force damage. So under the effect where it has the damage, it has a little icon. If you mouse over it, it shows the type of damage.
Doesn't let me do that. I can click open up Eldritch Blast and see. I see the
Yeah.
little icon.
In the
But-
description as well, it
Oh,
also
yeah.
says on a hit, the target takes 1d10 force damage.
Right, you have to mouse over the actual little symbol next to it. Got it. Thank you.
You do have 2 beams as well. So you can make a second attack
Right.
roll if you would like.
I will do so. And that one's an 8.
8, yeah, and 8 is not going to hit. The first one strikes into it. The second one sails past. What was the damage? 1d10?
9.
9? Okay, 9 is good.
9 is something.
It crashes into the arm. Chips of stone dust spray out across you, Natalie, but you easily just blink through it as you get ready. The arm pulls back, the fist closes as it gets ready to swing. It is going to take 2 attacks against you, Natalie. That is a 26 to hit with the first one,
Nah. Ain't it?
and
Nah.
a 14 to hit with the second attack.
14 is equal, so they're both hits.
Also hits. Okay. That is 41 points of bludgeoning damage for the first attack, as the massive fist swings in towards you, and you manage to hold your feet on the ground, but there's a moment where you feel the ground, because it's soft, kind of give and slide you back a little bit.
Just
second
checking,
attack,
that's not like anything special bludgeoning or anything, like that will still be
No.
halved by rage.
just bludgeoning.
Okay,
Yes, it is
cool.
halved.
Yeah.
The second one is 48 bludgeoning damage.
Easy. I
as
mean,
it
not like
pulls
easy,
back.
but like,
Yeah.
yes. I will take both of those hits very not graciously.
It pulls back with this enormous second swing that just catches you right in the shoulder and the side of the face, and you spin as your blood and one of your teeth go flying out into the dirt in front of you, and the creature kind of pulls its arms back as it observes to see what should be something dead, and slowly, Natalie, you turn back to make eye contact once again with this giant statue creature. Probably wounded, but still standing.
I am at half health, so
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
okay.
you're great.
I'm okay. I'm not great. I'm okay.
Your rage, your rage is just holding together here. Aery, you are up. Natalie, you are on deck.
Aery is not even going to get up. He's just going to cast Misty Step back to where the group started.
Okay. What is your range for Misty Step?
It is
60 feet? Yeah, you can. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, 60 feet. No, I've clicked on Mind Spike 3 times.
Oh wait, no, it's 30 feet. Sorry.
30 feet, yes. So you are 45
I'm
feet
45
away.
feet away.
Yeah.
All right, and then I will get up and I'll try and make the distance so that I can Misty Step.
Sure. So it's half your move to get up, and it is 15 feet away. So you have 15 feet of movement. Make an athletics or acrobatics check.
15.
15? Yeah, you just wheezing from the giant pain. Yeah. Just step through the soft ground and then Misty Step vanish. Go ahead and roll a dice for me as I roll 50-50 for you.
10.
10. You appear directly next to El Romeor. A little bit over to the right, you would have landed right on top of him. A little to the left, right on top of the wagon.
Oh, I'm getting 5 hit points back every turn still, right?
You are. So you get 5 hit points back standing up.
Nice. Sick.
That's actually a good point. You should have gotten 5 hit points while you were unconscious.
Would it have worked like that?
Why not? It's wild magic.
Well, I was.
Yeah, I'll
up
tell you what,
in
this
the
round
same
I'll give
turn.
you 10 instead of 5.
Alright, sick. Lovely. Still feel like shit, but
Yeah.
a lot better.
Yeah. You see El Romeor is like shooting firebolts and he is visibly shaken. And as you like appear next to him, he kind of jumps a little bit and starts and gets ready to keep casting spells.
Who's still here other than him? Is it just him?
Just him. Naladrian Silence went to try to help the city. Oh, Satine is there. She is not engaging.
You meant who's behind the
I'm
van?
in the party, yeah.
Me.
You're still there?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, Aery would just be like, what the fuck was that? Why didn't anyone do anything?
I only went out because I was trying to create a distraction. I thought you would do the same thing and then come straight back.
I thought that we were going to make opportunity for the others to hit it, because that's what they're good at.
Yeah. I'm glad you're okay.
Speaking of hitting it, Natalie.
Let me smash.
Exactly.
So
Can I, just before my turn is over,
Yeah.
can I just see if there's anything around that we could use to transport the rock? Like, even if we use it like as a sled?
You could try to
pull
use the
it?
wagon as a sled, but you would just be dragging it through the dirt, basically.
Better than touching the rock. Alright, that's all. I just wanted to know.
I'm a hit twice because everyone else is gone and I just have to stand here.
You can see that Oriana is coming up to support you from behind.
Okay.
She
sure.
hasn't quite reached it yet, but you think that by her next turn, she should make it to the thing.
I at least have some solidarity in this moment.
Reckless or normal?
Oh, reckless, of course. Oh, did you roll with
perfect.
advantage last time as well?
They hit anyways.
I know,
I did
but just in
not.
case it was a 20, it was more what I was thinking.
No. Oh, it's a 19. It was right there.
Oh wow, my dice are really mean to me this time around. That were 2 9s, and that was an 8 and a 7. They've been so nice to me all night, and they're like, fuck you in particular right now. I don't think any of those will hit, because I think the maximum is like a 16.
No, 16 is not going to hit.
Yeah, that's the highest, so guess I'll cry.
You pull your axe back and swing, and your blade just bounces off of the stone. And you're not shaken. You're not shaken. You're still angry. You're still mad. You swing your axe again. Boom! Your axe shakes, bounces off of the leg of the creature as it seems to pull its arms back to get ready for another swing. That one little ice cold droplet of fear just kind of trickles down your spine.
Just
of like
a little
uh-oh.
one, like a tiny one.
Yeah.
A little tiny one.
Anything else?
That's it. I don't have any bonus actions, so I just cry. Free action to cry though, right?
Right inside. Oh, free action, absolutely. Always free action to poop, cry, whatever
I don't
bodily
want to
function. No, okay.
I think people really want to poop in battle.
You'd be surprised at how often it comes up in D&D.
Oh god.
Usually it's the horny bard that's like, I would like to poop. And you're like, great, it's free action.
I've never heard that, but I
Um,
fully believe you.
it's surprisingly common. Eminence, you're up. Ori, you're on deck.
I would like to fire another Eldritch Blast at the creature now that I've seen that actually does damage.
Yeah, you go ahead and fire twice if you like.
Yes, indeed. Firing twice. One is a 19 to hit. One is
19
a
hits.
21. 2 hits.
Awesome, let's get damage.
Not much. 4 and
Oof. What was the other
13
damage?
damage total. Sorry, 9, so 13 total.
4 and 9. Okay. It's starting to look a little bit worse for wear. You can see these pock marks where the blasts have hit into it, sort of gouging into the stone. You see that chips and flakes of it are starting to fall off from where it has been damaged. However, it is still very large, about 12 or 13 feet tall, and just solid stone.
Can I also, in this turn, hand Aery the health potion that I'm carrying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Fish it
sort
out.
of
And just,
not even look at her, just him, just shove it at him.
yeah. Absolutely. Arm over. You have a health potion, Aery. Great. Oriana, you are up.
I'm not going to backdate this because, you know, I did a dumb and I forgot. But before I do my thing, I'm going to have my snake move and make its attack.
Yes.
Because I was like, oh, there's nothing else I can do. I did the Healy thing, but, you know, I totally forgot I had a snake. So I'm
It's your
going to
bonus action
attempt.
to take an attack. So if you healed, then that's.
Healing word is. Oh no, healing word is the bonus action. Yeah. I just thought it was an action. Anyway, whatever. Let's save this if we can do this thing. Ooh. Oh no, that should be fine. 16 plus 6 plus 5.
22 plus 5.
My
21.
I don't know if D&D Beyond says something different, but my character sheet that I use says it's a plus 5.
So I see you've got a plus 6 spell attack.
Oh, okay. Well, there's something wrong with my other character sheet because D&D Beyond
So
is usually
proficiency.
more correct.
3 plus 3.
Okay, I'll figure that out later. So I do a hit, and I hit him with, because I only casted it level 2. It's only going to do the 8, which is a 7 plus your spellcasting ability modifier, which I think is a 4. Nope, it's a 3. So 7, 8, 9, 10. 10!
10 points of damage. The snakes gouge into it. The hip that it had taken hits from Natalie earlier is kind of cracking a little bit under the weight of its enormous, larger torso as the snakes come back with mouthfuls of this gray-white stone. But it is still standing.
Okay, I would like to, if I can get the whole way up there, get up and get my mace and do a donk.
Yep. Let's get a bonk roll.
Fuck, I threw it off the desk. Let's try again. Oh, that's a nat 20!
Hey!
Plus 3. If it had been anything else, I probably would have hit. So it's a 6, which is a 4. Do you want me to double the 4 or roll it again?
Your choice.
I'm gonna roll it again and probably get a 1. Oh, no, it's a 5. Shush, Lily, please. And I get to add a d8 of radiant damage once per turn when I make an actual hit.
So
as
what
a
was
war
the
cleric thing.
bludgeoning damage? It was 9 plus
4 plus 9. 4 plus 5.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have a plus anything to it.
Gotcha.
It's just
awesome.
a straight 6 as far as I can tell.
And the radiant damage?
An extra 3.
Awesome. You pull your massive mace back and get it right in the stomach, in the chest, and it actually kind of staggers back a little bit as you watch these cracks kind of spiderweb up across the chest.
But that's all my stuff.
Awesome. Romeor is going to there's not that much that he can do. Yeah, he's gonna firebolt again. The blast sails off past the trees, completely missing. That is his turn. The statue is up. One of the head kind of turns and looks over at you, Oriana, but looks back at Natalie, who has withstood its pummeling, and pulls back the fists once again as it gets ready to take 2 attacks with advantage.
With
from
advantage.
Reckless.
With advantage.
With advantage.
Just because I missed doesn't mean I don't get away with that.
Wow, that is 16 to hit.
Yeah, 16 hits. I have 14, so.
Unlucky.
Barbarians being low AC. Need to get some
And that is
braces sometime.
unnatural 20.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't you hate it when you roll a dice like 4 times in a row and it's cocked every single time?
Yep.
Like that shouldn't be allowed.
I love dice trays, but sometimes they're just really out to get you.
I mean, at least with a dice tray, they don't end up on the floor. Like I roll
True.
them on my mouse pad because I got a really big one and it's quite thick. So it doesn't make that much noise. But sometimes they just fucking just yeet all the way off my desk. And I'm like, goodbye forever.
So the first attack was a 52 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yikes. All right.
Pummels in.
26, yeah.
Mhm.
Can't do like half, you know. So I have to do math still. I have 6 HP. I highly doubt the second one's going to be less than 6.
Yes, it has done more than that.
Yep.
Yeah. It does more than that.
So, once that second attack hits, and I kind of get like smushed like Aery did, and as it lifts its hand from the ground, there's like the depress of like Natalie in the dirt. As the fist lifts up, she's going to put her fist on it and kind of use it to kind of pull herself back up and use her relentless endurance to stay at 1 health.
Yeah, awesome. You pull yourself up out of the dirt, a mix of your own blood and dirt dripping off of you as the hand kind of shakes your arm free as you're just standing there ragged, but still standing. Awesome. It takes these 2 attacks. That's all it can do. Aery, you are up. It's looking pretty wounded. It's got some blasts across the shoulders and the chest and the hip. It's sort of cracking in places. It still seems singularly focused, and it seems like it hasn't noticed the damage has been dealt to it, as if it doesn't have a sense of self.
Okay, I will, from where I am, cast a chromatic orb at it at 4th level, and if I hit,
I believe.
Attack roll.
oh, that's a natural 1.
Oh no! Okay.
Natural 1 for my last 4th level spell slot. Very good.
You get 5 hit points.
Yes, and I will drink the potion.
Yes. So regular potion is 2d4 plus 2. Yeah, the orb, you get ready to spin and spin it out forward once again. It just spins and grazes off the shoulder as it seems to like shrug back a little bit, just moving its position ever so slightly to make the attack miss. Anything else?
No, there's nothing else I could do. So that is all.
The big think. Natalie, you are up. Eminence, you are on deck.
Wabam! 2 hits, baby! Gotta go
Reckless
straight
or
for
not?
it. Of course it's reckless.
You don't need to reckless because you have flanking from Oriana.
Oh, okay, sure. Then I won't, because I would like to not be hit. However, I feel like that's not going to be avoided, so I'm going to try. That's not going to be a good first. Fuck. So the first was a 7. The
Total?
second hit was a natural 1.
So it was a 7 total and a natural 1.
No, so the 7 was just a natural 7, so it was like, that would be 14, which isn't it anyway. The other one was a natural 1.
Yeah.
So...
You pull back with your axe and kind of blink, and right as you do, a little bit of like blood and sweat gets into your eyes, and you just swipe at the air and swipe again a second time. Angry, still fighting, but not hitting.
I like to think it's that brush with death, just like really getting in the way, you know?
Mm-hmm. Uh, the brush with death. Yeah. The cold singular focus of like must beat bad guy. Awesome. That brings us to Eminence. Oriana, you're on deck.
Okay, I am going to spam A and fire off 2 Eldritch Blasts.
Attacking. Let's get 2 attack rolls.
A good 20, and I spoke too soon. 8.
20 is a hit, though. That's some damage.
Yes, that's some. I really can't complain. 9.
9. The blast crashes back into the center of its neck in the back, and the head kind of cracks, and you can see these spiderweb cracks heading up into the face. It appears to be on its last legs.
On seeing that, I'm just gonna like turn to Romeor with like a manic grin on my face, like, isn't this fun kind of expression? And then realize that he is shaking like a leaf and just be like,
Yeah.
oh, right.
Yeah, he is fully just like, what?
That's all.
Awesome. Eminence. No, sorry. Oriana, you are up. Romeor is on deck. Your attack, if you take a melee attack, it is with advantage. You have flanking from Natalie.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I'm gonna do the bop. I was just trying to figure out oh no, the weapon attack would be bonus action, but I want to use my bonus action for my sneak. You don't need to hear my thought process, but you know, you get to.
Yay.
That is a 13 is the higher one, plus 6, which is a 19, which is just a hit.
19 just hits.
Okay. That's the D6, which is a 2. Which is great. Plus the radiant, which is a 5, so that's not so bad. 7 damage.
Okay. The you pull back the mace and sink into it. You can see the spider web of cracks just getting larger and larger. Chunks of rock fall out of the arms and out of the legs. It is still standing.
And my snake got an 18, so that's not going to hit his.
Yeah, the snake lashes out and just misses, getting the air next to it.
Best of intentions. Not doing
Yes.
real well.
It's right there. Romeor, natural 1 on the firebolt. He's gotten like 3 natural 1s in this fight. He is having a real rough time. Yeah, that brings us to the statue. Its arm is like missing chunks of rock and stone. Its body is barely held together. And the eyes continue to focus on you, that flat, dead expression on top of the manic, wide grin as it pulls back for an attack. That is a 24 to hit against Natalie.
I am down.
It swings and you actually fly up into the air about 5 feet as the punch just arcs you up and over. And slowly, the body turns and rotates now towards you, Oriana. And even as its neck rotates, you can see more and more chunks of stone falling free and crashing to the ground around you. It's going to take its second attack. That is a 12 to hit.
No.
Awesome. It pulls back with this punch, and you can see that it is like labored. As the punch comes, you just kind of put yourself to the side and slide across the front of your braces as the punch swings through the air. And it manages to pull itself free. Aery, you are up. Natalie, you're on deck.
Okay. I'm going to try Chromatic Orb again. At third level. Oh,
Attack.
that's 14.
Okay, you pull back to spin again, spin out the chromatic orb. It hits the chest, but it just didn't have enough arcane potency. It dissipates in a flash. Go ahead and roll a wild magic surge for me.
6.
6? Yeah, nothing happens. Okay, anything else?
No, I can't do anything else.
Natalie, can I get a death save, please?
Easy. Oh, I just was about to.
Eminence, you're on deck.
It's a failure, but I thought it was a 1 and it's a 7, and that 7 looks a lot like a 1. That's so stressful.
There's always that mini heart attack of like...
It's like, because it's one of those, like, the 1 on it has like a top to it as well, so I looked at it and I'm like, don't you fucking dare, but whew, we're fine. It's only 1 failure.
Yep. Eminence. Oriana, you're on deck.
Well, I want to help Natalie so bad, but I think the only way I can help her is by trying to kill this thing. Which lasts. Please.
2 attacks.
Sorry. 2. 18.
The first one hits. Let's get damage. How do you want to do this?
Fuck yes. Okay. I fire off that Eldritch Blast, and I wanted to hit it straight in the neck. And I really, really hope that all of those spidery cracks just start to spread until the entire thing crumbles into a million pieces.
Absolutely. You fire the blast. It crashes into the neck before the arcane energy kind of pulses and explodes, and the head fully pops and detaches a little bit. And as it does, you can see it kind of breaks apart a little bit, except for that one sort of blank, emotionless eye that continues to fall down to the ground. The rest of the body begins to crumble down like this marble statue that has long since shattered and broken and is held together with nothing but like duct tape. It's like, do you remember the Sandman from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2?
Yes.
Actually, yeah.
Kind of like crumbles down, and it loses more and more shape as the statue just becomes more and more fine until it's actually just like this pile of gray and white sand, except for that one chunk of the face, the eye, still just blankly staring out. But it is dead and defeated.
In character, Eminence is going to kind of jump up and be like, "Damn it!" and then realize the gravity of the situation that is still occurring.
Yeah. El Romeor looks over and weak thumbs up. Good job.
Thanks. And then I'm running to Natalie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm just here like,
Yeah. I will burn my last second level spell slot and Misty Step to her and pull my potion.
Yeah,
I
you
had one,
immediately
and
just
then I was given one.
pop it open and just pour it into her mouth. 2d4 plus 2.
don't know why I tempted fate like that, but I was like, what
Do
would
I
happen if
roll
I
it, or
rolled
does she
another?
roll it? Who rolls
Sorry?
the potion? Do I roll the
You can
potion, or
choose. You can choose. Either you or the person you give it to.
You can do it because I've been rolling real bad.
What was it? It was a regular one, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2d4 plus 2.
4, 2.
It's 8.
Yep, sure is. Yeah, I got up. Yeah, I was tempting fate. I was like, wonder what would happen if I had to roll another death save. That was an 8, so
That's
would
2
have been
fails.
2 failures.
That counts.
Yeah,
You rolled it. That counts.
I mean that's fair, but it's fine. I'm not dead, so that's okay.
Yes,
Stressful.
come back to consciousness. You see Aery standing over you with the health potion, and a moment later, Eminence running up through the dirt and dust.
Oh,
Where is not to be, distracting from this, but where is Satine? Because I'm going to cast like a big healy thing that involves multiple people, and if she needs fucking healing, I just want to know, like, because I only saw her head.
Yeah. So she was hiding behind the wagon, and
Yeah.
you get the sense you understand why. As it kind of crumbles and the battle finishes, you see her kind of peek up again, sort of crazed wild eyes, before she stands up and comes around the wagon, and you can see that her left arm is completely mangled. At some point in time, she took some pretty big damage, so she still seems wounded.
Oh shit,
Uh,
we didn't notice that earlier.
And as far as
Yeah,
everybody
you saw this
else
much of her.
goes, I didn't get any damage. I don't think Romeor didn't actually get
He
hit
did
by
not.
anything, did he?
Stayed hidden. Yep.
Okay, so
He
I can do it on
followed
5 people, so
the mage
everybody
tactics.
else. I am going to call Satine over and be like, come here, I will fix you a little bit, I suppose.
Wanders over, and you can still see like a little bit of shock in her eyes. Judging by the amount of dirt, you get the sense that she's been there a while. Yeah.
You guys can chat amongst yourselves. This will take 10 minutes. Just stay in the circle, please.
What happened to you, Satine?
I came to check on things, and everything was okay, except for the ones that were broken. And then I got knocked over while I was walking away.
Hey, the big one?
Yeah. He didn't even see me. It just swinging its arm.
Yeah, he hurts.
You
So
seen any others act like that? Is that the only one that's moved?
no. Are there more?
I don't know. I hope
And
not.
at that, she slowly turns and looks at the remaining forest of statues. Of the ones still standing, there are probably around 80. Do you think we should do something?
I mean, we definitely should take this rock and leave. I guess we never should have taken it here.
I mean, you couldn't have known something like this would happen.
No.
At which point, El Romeor, well, technically, we don't know what this is. There was an earthquake, then the weave stopped for a moment, and now this with the statues. So
I mean, it was definitely more than just an earthquake. It wasn't natural.
I agree completely, but can we concretely say that this was fault of the stone? I think it is a good idea to get rid of it regardless, but we should
Did
be
the
hesitant.
like the rings, didn't they lead here?
Yes, it was hard to tell whether or not that the stone itself was the epicenter, because the epicenter was so large.
Right.
It seems like a large portion of the forest of statues was in the epicenter itself. Yeah, I'll let you make an investigation check with advantage if you like.
Okay. First one is a 17. Second one is an 18.
Yeah. With El Romeor's assistance, you kind of walk around a little bit as the spell finishes casting and sort of walk over to the edge of the remaining sort of soft earth and then back over. And yeah, the stone is in the epicenter, if not directly within the center, within 10 or so feet.
Yeah, it was a stinking rock.
Yeah, it seems it was the rock.
That's
Isave,
really bad.
you've mentioned that it is going to be taken tomorrow, so that is good. Perhaps your secret organization can do something about this.
Well, they did say
At
they
which
know about other
Satine
rocks.
kind of says, "Secret organization? What?"
You don't. No, you didn't hear that.
But as the healing spell goes off, that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
It's yeah, I'll give you the numbers. I rolled it at
Yep.
4th because I've run out of spell slots, basically, which means everybody gets 31.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
Well,
I rolled
awesome.
really fucking good. I rolled an 8, a 6, and 2 7s.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
That's amazing.
That's so
By-
good.
By the
never rolled
time
that
your
well,
spell
Philip.
finishes, Aery is already fully healed back to full health.
Aery gets too much healing and goes pop.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't take
I mean,
any
that was-
damage, so
Oh, it's literally just going to anyone who needed it. So it can be up to 5. It doesn't have to be 5.
I would say
Yeah,
that
everyone
the
just
person who
gets
needed it
full.
most was Natalie and a little bit to Satine.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. We will be back next week with more Dungeons and Dragons and investigations and understandings, hopefully, about everything that was going on. Oh, I totally forgot. Congratulations, you're level 9. You've leveled up after that battle.
Oh, that's so exciting.
2 days of big level.
Big level ups. Yes, so we'll go ahead and take care of those level ups over the course of the week and see what everybody learned and got over the course of that. But that is it for us. So, where can we find more about who you are and what you are doing? Why don't we go ahead and do our sign offs with Aery?
Hello! Thank you everyone for hanging out with us this week. I am Kat or Jimmy. I play Aery, and IRL. I am an artist, mostly a streamer sometimes. I do art for the channel, all the character art and the overlays. So if you like it, then check me out on Twitter. And if you would like a commission, my commissions are open. I can do art for you too.
Excellent. Natalie.
Natalie, I am not dead, which is nice. I'm BurrowsRed. I am a person. Normally I would go, I'm BurrowsRed and I'm a dungeon master, which I am technically of Tuesday's campaign, which will be back on Tuesday. And also I am on Twitch Mondays and Wednesdays, and I have a RPG stationery store. That's the one that I'm trying to remember to plug. I swear to God, I need to get like a fucking readout ready to go.
Just a manuscript. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the main one. I have a store, and buy from me because I'm really sad that AvCon got cancelled and now I can't be on a table with Kat, and we got lots of stuff and no one to sell it to. So,
But it does mean that we're playing again next weekend.
that is true. We do get that, which is, you know,
Silver
like,
lining.
yeah.
Like the silver dice tape that you can buy.
At the store. Eminence.
thanks guys. I'm Nicole. I played Eminence. I don't do other things on the internet, so I'm going to use my time to reiterate how awesome Burrows Arts is on Etsy. Is it Burrows Art or Burrows Arts?
Arts. It's kind of like
Yeah.
Burrows does arts, so it's Burrows
Yeah.
Arts.
I have personally bought your stuff and it is super high quality, and I will probably be buying more of it soon. So yeah, people do that. It's great. Yeah, I'll see you next week.
And Oriana.
Hello, I am Mel Levson. I am a streamer and a cosplayer. I also have a podcast with Burrows, which I don't blame her for not mentioning because she has so much shit going on and I have like that one thing. Yeah, this was good. I'm so excited to be level 9. I have 5th level spells now.
Yeah. Big level up.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you so much for coming. My name is D. I'm the Dungeon Master. You can find me at Romeor in the link in the doobly-doo and all of that. I do Dungeons and Dragons with these awesome people once a week, and occasionally other things too. But for now, just stay tuned to my Twitter for more updates on other things that I am going to do. But that's going to do it for us. Burrows, how are we looking?
So, we're going to go and say hello to someone who's doing the Choose Their Own Adventure thing. It's apparently an old school adventure book. And you can use channel points to interact. If it's the first time you've been there, we'll have at least 300 when you start off. And let me double check. It looks like you can do some stuff with that. So, like, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, that's where we're going.
Then doots if you've got them.
Dudes.
If not, just be pleasant.
Yes. Be nice to each other and nice to our wonderful hosts that we're going to see in a little bit, because we're going to be back next week with more Dungeons and Dragons, and hopefully you can enjoy the rest of the week until then. But that is going to do it for us, unless anyone has any parting words. Aim for the groin. Thanks. We'll see you next week.